All right. I am back. I just had to go to the bathroom. And now I'm eating a snack. I gotta share this link real quick. All right. I'm hoping that more people are able Whoa, Trin. How am I doing tonight? Fuck if I know. All right. Holy cow. Eating snacks. Okay. So during this live, I'll probably be able to do some more sorting and putting things away. Just eating my snack. Oh, I just got a chat. Okay. What are you reading tonight? These are not sprints, so I will not be reading. This is a I did the serious part of complaining about Readers Take Denver earlier today. So, all right. So, we are here to talk about Readers Take Denver. All right. I have not gone through the TikTok side of Readers Take Denver. So we're going to do some searching. Let's see. Readers Take Denver 2024. We're going to react to some TikToks. So, Actually, I think I can watch them on my computer. Hold on. TikTok hasn't been banned yet, so. I'd have to log in on my computer, and I don't want to do that. All right, so we're gonna go through some. I am also gonna have other attendees from the event popping in and out to talk about various different things and react to Steve. I vote. Actually, this is my channel. I can do whatever the fuck I want here. We're gonna turn this into a Steve watch party. And if Steve's not the one actually on screen reporting, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be so mad. I'm gonna be like, Steve, what the fuck? So let's talk about let's talk about it.
They did that. I was like, oh, I had everyone send me the QR codes. I was like, I rushed. I was like, Rachel, rush over here to send me a QR code. And I ended up registering every single one of us. And Lisa Renee Jones, who literally was kicking us out, we were all just waiting for our badge so that we could get into the event. And she comes out and she goes, are you guys really wanting to wait in this silly little line for badges when you can go back tomorrow? But tomorrow event started right away. And we didn't want to come back into these crazy lines. When we actually got
Apparently, people were being gaslit about not getting badges. So many concerns. But, okay. Let's see. I'm just like, I don't even. I have Hamilton stuck in my head, which is literally not related to anything that we're talking about right now, which is fine. I must have missed it. Who is Steve? I'm using my son's name apparently. We be waiting for Steve still. We need Steve. We need Steve. I'm constantly going to be checking back the new Denver News 9 website and just waiting. Okay, I need to know where I can watch Steve because it's very important that I see Steve this evening because I can't, I don't, is this a, oh my God, that's not the news. It's not the news. I never thought that I would want the news to watch the news so freaking badly. Yes. Me send. Okay, I gotta get the links and I'll send them to people. Hold on. I have to do this in a really weird way because I don't have like an iPhone or something, so I can't really share links to my own phone very easily because things are stupid and technology hurts me. So, it's in my email drafts. It is in my email drafts. That's my spam. Copy the link. And then here. Did it. Did it. Did it. Just need to join the live. And then I send to Heidi. I need Steve. Huh? Okay. I think this is live right now. What I am watching. So think it's news late at night. So I need to see Steve. True that, Kitty. True that. Someone from the group chat just texted, like, I'm surprised that someone thinks that Lisa thinks that people are going to come back next year. And honestly, same. Because I'm sure as hell not. I'm sure there will be people that will go. But I do not imagine it will be very many. And waiting for Steve. It's weather. It's weather. It's the friggin' weather. It's the freaking weather. I don't care about the weather. I need Steve. I don't even know what to do. My house smells like graham crackers. Graham crackers. Okay, nope. Not doing this today. Not doing. What? Dude, really, what the fuck? Seriously? Really? That's fucking weird. I just put you on blast. I hope you know that that's really fucking weird. Just so you know, that's a weird ass comment to make. So, yeah, don't be fucking weird. I, I don't even know how to respond to that. All right. So, this is Heidi. She was another attendee. Like, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Heidi. I attended Readers Take Denver as an attendee. I also am here tonight to talk about some of the problems that Readers Take Denver had with their ADA services. I am semi-ambulatory. I have the ability to walk, but I have a walker sometimes. And so I'm just here tonight to talk about that with you and with everyone else.
I definitely would appreciate that. I don't want to say I'm excited to hear your perspective because that sounds weird, but I'm very glad to hear other people's perspectives because As somebody who has an invisible disability, I can definitely relate on certain aspects. There are definitely aspects that obviously I can't relate to. But yeah, there were definitely some issues I noticed, but I can't even imagine what it would be like to go through that as somebody who uses mobility aids. Also, to everyone else joining, this is Kelly. Would you like to take a second and introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Kelly. I'm from Massachusetts. As I'm walking through my house Alexa, turn the couch light on. Sorry, it's dark in here. I was also an attendee at Readers Take Denver. And it was my first ever signing that I've ever been to. And kind of a shit show for me. I didn't know what to expect. And
I think shit show is a bit of an understatement. But, so, okay, this will be interesting. Heidi, are you local to Colorado or are you out of state?
I'm out of state. I flew in.
Okay, so you guys can talk a little bit about the travel expectation because I'm local. I live about 2 hours away from the Gaylord. I stayed with my grandparents that didn't live too far away, but so my travel was probably 10 times easier than whatever you guys had to deal with. I can't even imagine the weight fees on baggage.
Yeah. So I ended up checking 3 bags with Delta. And I also sent home a FedEx box, and I didn't have a ton of pre-orders. I felt like I didn't order a lot of things. I brought a lot of books to be signed, but even the books that I brought to be signed, I didn't even get all of those signed. I had plans to see, like I made a list, I made a spreadsheet of like all these authors that I had planned to see, and I didn't even see half of them. I didn't even have the ability to see half of them.
Same.
Yeah, I had like an entire bag of books that I was bringing with me. Again, I'm a local, so I did have the benefit of being able to, drive my stuff down there.
Yeah.
But and I didn't do any pre-orders, but like I saw people running themselves ragged trying to get all of their pre-orders. And as I said in my previous live, I know that there are some people who did not get all of their pre-orders because authors are now having to take time that they should not have to be taking to send out pre-orders.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely insane. One of my friends I felt like she didn't have a large number of pre-orders compared to some of the things that I read online. But even then, I was helping her pick up pre-orders, and she was bawling that she had to figure out how to get all these pre-orders, and she didn't have any time to talk to the authors. She spent most of the second day running from place to place just trying to pick up these pre-orders. So I felt so bad for her, and I did all I could to help. But then again, I'm not exactly fast, so I'm not a big help at all.
Yeah, exactly. What about you, Kelly? Did you have any pre-orders or anything like that?
I did. So the only way that I got all of them was because the person that I was with, my friend that I was with, had an influencer badge. And she went into one of the rooms that I couldn't go into at that time and I got the Chantal Tessier set, the Lord's set. And
Those are so pretty.
They're gorgeous. And it was
There's
like 100
so many special editions there. And I'm like,
yeah.
I would have spent all my rent money. I had to keep reminding myself, I have to pay rent. I have to pay rent. You are missing 4 days of work for this.
I saved a lot of adult money for that. But it was like I had hundreds of dollars worth of between Chantal Tessier's full set and Luna Mason's full set. It was hundreds of dollars worth of pre-orders that I had to scrounge around to go and get. The first day I was debating on whether or not to get my ones from Emily Rath's PA early because I was like, no, I want to meet her. Like that's the whole point, right? Is to meet them.
Yeah.
And thank God I did because I don't think I ever would have gotten them. So I got those first, and then I went into Aurora 1 first, which was I had the red card, so that was the one that I went into first.
I had a black
And
card.
Can I pause you just for a second?
Sure.
I still don't know which one was Aurora 1 and Aurora 2. So if you're looking at the doors, which
the
one was
first one. The first one.
So the one on the right is Aurora
2.
1?
Yeah.
Oh,
The one
the
where
on the right is-
Jesse Hall was in Aurora 1.
Yeah.
So
I do apologize for interrupting as well, but I just do have to say, if you hear like sounds of children screaming from my end, I do live in an apartment, so there are.
So you're not beating the children. Got it.
No, I live in a tiny 1-bedroom apartment, and
it could also be my kids. My kids are screaming like banshees downstairs. So I had to I'm in my bathroom because my kids are downstairs. Like I'm supposed to be putting them to bed, but it'll be fine.
Mine's asleep, so it's fine. It's 11 o'clock here in Massachusetts.
You're in
so-
Massachusetts.
Yeah, it's 11. It's 11 p.m. here.
So I'm just kind of like,
Yeah.
not a part of the club, but I was definitely. I don't want to say I was a difficult child for my parents to put to sleep, but I definitely would sneak out of my room to read in the bathroom when I was supposed to be asleep.
I had a flashlight that I had that I hid between my mattresses, and I had my stack of books by my bed, and I would like under my covers, I'd have my little flashlight and my books like all night long.
Fantastic.
I told my dad about that recently, how I had like that I would like sneak out into like where it was light to read my books. And he said, "Oh, I know. You weren't exactly quiet about it. I just let you do it." Because like, even I did it as a teenager, like when I first started really getting into reading. Where did my phone go? It literally just disappeared. I can feel it vibrating somewhere. Oh, there it goes.
I know. I'm trying to keep track of the RTD threads as well at the same time because there is so much going on. So I did my own live earlier on Instagram, and I made note of the things that I wanted to talk about. I was like, oh, I'll just go over these things. I made 7 pages of notes, and I know these aren't like real pages, but like I made 7 front to back pages of notes of things that I wanted to discuss because there had been so much that had gone on, stuff that I went through and stuff that my friends had gone through, and then of course the stuff that I had seen talked about online.
Yeah, I've been kind of going down a rabbit hole, just like looking at all of the stuff that people have been posting, and I do, and I think some of the accounts from people that aren't there, like there's some of the things that people are saying, like people who weren't there are saying is just very funny to me because, like, for example, there's some people out there who are upset that certain small businesses or individuals are making like hashtag Readers Take Denver Survivor 2024 merch or something along those lines, when in reality
we want it.
We want that. We need that because we came up with that. We think it's hilarious. And I feel like 9 times out of 10, they're coming from a good place of people being like, hey, don't like capitalize on people's crappy experiences, but let us capitalize on our crappy experiences because
let the vendors that were there that had issues, those vendors create that merchandise because they paid all the money to be at these tables. And I don't know about everybody else, but I personally could not get to 90% of the vendor tables. I physically could not get to the vendor tables. It was ridiculous.
I was able to mostly. But again, that is because I am an ambulatory person. I don't use a mobility aid personally, and I didn't have one of those rolling book carts, which I feel like those need to be talked about a little bit because I feel like those also caused some problems. As helpful as they were, I definitely feel like they caused problems.
Yeah, I thought about that, but like for that, I don't know the solution for the book carts. Like, what else could you do? I mean, you could do backpacks, but those, when people move, they don't realize they have stuff on their back, and that just hits stuff. Like, just people they're not aware of their bodies.
I think, you know how like at Disney World or like any theme park, like right outside of rides, they have like a cast member or an attendant. Like, I know it's not a perfect system and I know like mix-ups happen, but like you kind of park your stroller there or your wagon or whatever so that you do the ride, you go through, and then when you come back, you can put all your stuff, you can get all your stuff that way. So you don't have to necessarily lug it around. I don't know how that would work because I know we had the book storage rooms supposedly for instances like this.
Weren't they like in East Bum or somewhere compared to where the rooms were? Like, weren't they like? I didn't even bother to go find it because again, I was running around like a psycho. I didn't have time.
They were really, so if you're a person with a mobility device, or even
They
a
were
person,
in Cottonwood.
they were
like,
really far away.
They were
So
really far away.
If I had to go take my books over to that, those are extra steps that I had to take. And like, I don't know if you guys have heard of the spoon theory. I only have a couple spoons a day to use. And if I'm using my spoons to walk back and forth to that room, I'm using up my spoons walking down to Cottonwood.
Yeah, fellow Spoonie here. I literally just got diagnosed with Ehlers-Danlos this morning.
Yes. Yeah, so you totally understand. You totally get it. You can't waste your spoons on walking all the way down to that room. It's just not feasible.
No, like I am very thankful that my experience, I do want to clarify, my experience was definitely not as bad as other people's experiences. I did say this in the other live too. Like, I'm not gonna speak over anybody being like I know people have been throwing around the word like trauma a lot, and I'm not gonna comment whether or not it was actually traumatizing, because did it have a traumatizing effect on me? No. But could it have had a traumatizing effect on other people? Absolutely. So I'm not here to tell you like what you were feeling with that.
Right.
The only reason it isn't for me is because, like, thanks to therapy and my alphabet soup mental health diagnosis and having narcissistic family members, like, I know how to like gray rock, and I know how to like interpret that. Well, you know, that's your experience. Like, no, fuck you. That is my experience. Like, you were not, like I said in those emails to Lisa, you were not standing next to me.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to share those.
By telling me, like, she was telling me outside of Adams 2 downstairs that I effectively did it wrong on Friday because I waited in a line. And she was like, but you had a number. Because I was so my number to get into Adams 1, to where Chantal Tessier, to where SJ Tilley, to where Emily Raft was 3,000 and something. And it was insane. So I was
Do you still have
hoping.
your card?
I do, yeah.
I think I do too. But
I would love to see pictures of anyone whose card was over 3,000, because they said there was only going to be 3,000 people there. And so if numbers were over 3,000, those numbers don't make sense to me.
I'm still like sorting through the pile of.
I haven't even attempted.
I love your pile. Oh my gosh, that is so awesome.
This is my pile right here.
I love piles. I love sorting, and that is one of the few things I enjoyed this weekend. I love that random stuff, and a lot of it was the sorting. I like sorting things. I think it's a mixture of the autism and the ADHD in my brain, because it's just like, yes, there's order. But
yeah,
we make order out of chaos.
Things look nice.
Yeah,
I love it.
Definitely order out of chaos.
Like, I understand that. I
how I live my life. That's how I live my life. Like, I
do want to say there were a lot of positives to this event, but the positives were few and far in between, and in some cases are very much outweighed by the negatives.
I'm sorry. So this was actually my second one, because I lost the first one, but actually it wasn't. It was 2,080. But I think this was actually my influencer friends because we were swapping them back and forth just so I could get in to get my shit.
Oh, yeah.
So
Well,
I was
if you
standing.
if you can have your friend text you a picture and send it to me at some point, I would love to see that. If they have it. If not,
I
it's
think
fine.
either that or I'm just like, being over dramatic, but I don't know.
Like,
No,
I
I've
think
heard
we-
of I've heard of multiple other people have numbers over 3,000, but I have not
Yeah.
seen actual. I'm collecting like actual proof of these things, and so I can't say that people had them over 3,000, but a number of people have said that they've had them over 3,000. So I can't.
Well, there would have to be. There was more than 3,000 of us there.
There had to be.
What else did you get if it wasn't this?
as the lawyers in the group chat reminded us, all of
Allegedly.
this is
Allegedly.
alleged, supposed,
Yes.
under speculation.
Yes. Absolutely.
All
Well,
of
except for
this.
this, because except for
Unless
this thing that
we
I'm about
have
to say,
proof.
because it happened to me.
Or it was our eyewitness experience. We cannot confirm that it happened. But
Yes.
as I said several times in my last live, I am more inclined to believe other people's stories than not. Because what would be the point of 97% of the people who attended this event lie about having even like a marginally decent time?
Well, I don't have to say allegedly about this because she actually said this to me. So I was the one who, when I asked about the QR code, like when I asked, what if you don't have one? She asked me, why don't you have one? I was like, you don't know. You're the adult in this situation, not me.
I said,
I'm not supposed to be adulting here. You have
I
to
know
tell
I'm
me.
here on
so
vacation.
many
This
people
isn't.
weekend.
This is vacation Kelly. Like this is not responsible Kelly. This is irresponsible Kelly with adult money and books everywhere. Like this is not no.
Literally
So-
what I asked. I was like, we need an adultier adult where
I did that too. I was like, I need an adult. I don't know what to do. So to get into the room where like I was trying to get into my last ditch effort, my 2080, and it wasn't quite there. I was standing in line to get in the door in hopes that while I was standing there that the number would come up. And Lisa walked up to me and she was like, "What number are you?" And I told her whatever the 2080 or whatever the number was. And she was like, "Well, why are you waiting in line? Why don't you just go have fun?" And I went, "I can't because I'm stressed out of my mind because I have hundreds of dollars of pre-orders inside those doors that I can't get in." And I said, it took me 2.5 hours just to meet, just to get through Shane Rose and Jesse Hall yesterday. She said, "Oh no, it shouldn't have. When they called your number, you go right back and you meet them." And I went,
No,
"No,
that's not how it worked.
no." I said, went back and got in the line after my number was called. She goes, "No, you didn't do it right. There shouldn't have been a line." I said, "There was a line."
Absolutely were lines. There
I said,
absolutely were lines.
In 2 minutes from my influencer friend who got to Jesse Hall first, her number was 92. In 2 minutes later, I got there, mine was 119. Bullshit. And then, so when I finally got in the line and when I got my number for Jesse Hall got called, there was 7 minutes left before 5 o'clock. I got in line, hopeful as all shit. I was like, "Oh, I'm in line. Maybe they'll just let me finish."
Nope.
5 o'clock, they told us to get out. We walked by Jesse Hall, who looked like we had all just run over her dog. She was devastated. That like the look on her, she looked at all of us. She goes, "I guess I'll see you tomorrow." And I didn't end up seeing her. My friend went back in because her books didn't get signed that she brought with her, and I gave her the ticket to go back in because I had already picked up my book. It was already signed, so I didn't bother going back because I had my Lord series, my Beneath the Mask series, and stuff to do. And I wanted to get a Sadie Kincaid signature. While I was in line for Sadie Kincaid, first time, I was standing in front of Dakota Willink's table, and I was about to fall apart. Like I was falling apart in front of her table, and the girl behind me had the influencer badge, and she asked her if she had cards, and the girl said no. And I was like, "Well, I'm not an influencer, but I do." And I handed it to her, and she handed me a stack of an entire series of her books and handed them to me and was like, "I'm sorry," and like to try to like make it better. And then I had to see her an hour or so later because I was in Sadie Kincaid's line before they were calling numbers for her. So I was standing in line because she was right next to Luna Mason. So I did that and acted like I felt like a complete tool in front of Luna Mason, who I'm an ARC reader for. And I was so anxious and so overwhelmed that I couldn't even say to her what I wanted to say because I was so like, I was all vibrating and whatever.
Before I run out of time, I have to run.
Exactly. I was like, I don't know what to say. I look like an asshole. I'm sorry. I like, and
I love you. Sign my book. Let's take a picture.
But I didn't even want to do that because I didn't know anybody behind me because you know how they said we could stay in our group. So my friend was an influencer and I couldn't go with her. So I was on my own 90% of the time. So
I was on my own the entire time.
the people around me were really nice, but like, I don't like, hey, random person, can you touch my phone that has been near my face, mouth, whatever, like, but ass pocket, like whatever, like it's weird. But I was so the first time
you have to trust that the picture will come out and that they know how to like point and shoot. I'll tell you, when you're done with your story, I have to tell you a story about Scarlett St. Clair on the picture.
Okay.
Go on.
And like my friend at least knows like, hey, don't get like my mom fat area. Like, can you get like from the tits up? Like that's, you know, can we skip this part? That'd be great. But like, you can't say that to a stranger of like, hey, can you not get like my spare tire or like the deflated basketball where my human grew? Like,
because it's going to be one of like the little tiny influencers that has like this really cute little body behind you. And she doesn't care. All of her pictures are like this.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, she looks the same. She's adorable, but like she at least knows how to take a picture.
Yeah.
So I'm
but here I am like this. I'm like,
yeah, and I'm like, nope, that's not my face. Okay, cool.
Like,
so I'm in line.
Pictures with authors was so awful.
That was my like 80% of my pictures are like this. I look like Chandler Bing, I swear. I'm gonna post on my Instagram page like this reel of Heidi is unable to take pictures.
So as a Chandler for the Chandler Bing reference, were you also offended by the "I'll be there for you" at the end of Lisa's email? Because I was. I'm like, no.
I'm not getting the emails. The emails aren't coming to me. I have not read them.
Oh my God. Well, it will just make you angry.
My friends are forwarding them to me. I just haven't seen them yet. But
don't even bother. It's not worth your energy. It's just gonna make you angry.
I'm reading tonight.
Yeah. So I'm in line for Sadie Kincaid. I had fallen apart in front of Miss Dakota, which was horrifying and fabulous all at the same time. And the woman in the apron comes by and she goes, "So this is for tickets only." And I had been in there for a half an hour. I had stood there for half an hour, and I went, "No, she didn't have number. There was no number." Like I checked the WhatsApp, like it said no, it said nothing. And she's like, "No, they're for tickets from yesterday." And I went, "Well, that's not." We were like, "Well, that's not anywhere." She's like, "Well, you need a ticket then." And I said, "Where is the ticket? Where's the person?" And I said, "Okay, I need one then." She goes, "Oh, I don't have them." And I said, "Where's the person?" She goes, "Standing up by Sadie Kincaid at the table, not where the people were, down the other way." She was standing up in front of Sadie Kincaid.
Yeah.
So I had to get out of line to get a ticket, which I was 100 and whatever, and they were at 40. And I was like, cool, that's great. Glad I schlepped the book all the way from Massachusetts to get it signed, to maybe get it signed. Then, so I was outside.
I have a bunch of those tickets still in my pocket. Well, not in my pocket. I emptied my pockets, but
I think I do too. And I kind of like it. I look at it and I'm like twitching.
I know. I'm like this.
Like, so I'm sorry. Keep going and then I'll share my thing.
So I'm waiting in line to get into the next room while I was waiting for that number to come up so I could try to maybe meet SJ Tilly or maybe Emily Roth, anything. And Lisa comes up and does the whole thing of like, "Oh, you should be having fun." And I'm like, does this look like a happy face? Because it's not a happy face because I'm not happy. And
have you seen my Chandler Bing photos?
Yeah,
they're not happy photos.
It's not happy. So, and that's when she tells me I did the day before wrong because I waited for Jesse Hall and Shane Rose, and that I should have just walked right up. And she's like, "It's like Southwest. You just walk right up." And I went, "But there were a line of people." She was like, "No." And I went, "Yeah. No, yes, yeah."
And I'm not going to put out these other people who have probably also been waiting 2.5 hours.
Their numbers were before mine.
The video clips I took of the rooms, or are the ones that are currently available and the ones that they themselves took?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So then her phone rings as she's trying to tell me that what happened to me didn't happen to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
All the
no, no.
gaslighting.
I was like, no, it did. Her phone rings and she was like, oh, I'm sorry. Let me just hang on 1 second. I'll be right back. And she gets on the phone and walks the fuck away and didn't come back.
Yeah.
I was like, cool. Thanks for fixing this.
Yeah.
And then I was at the airport, and because of the unaccompanied men at the masquerade party, after my friend left yesterday morning, I sat for 7.5 hours at Denver airport yesterday because I felt safer there than I did at the hotel because of the lack of whatever once my friend left to go to the airport. So I sat there because I just like it was like a huge ick. I just wanted to get out.
And
And
that
I wish I would have known you on Sunday. Yesterday. What day is today?
I don't know.
I think it's Monday.
I would have come and sat with you at the airport. I didn't. Yeah.
Honestly, hearing
found a
about
lovely
people's
woman named Kim.
experiences, I am a local, and I'm like, I would have driven to DIA just to sit with people. And I talked about this in my live about my previous live about the unaccompanied men and how the only people I'm holding responsible for that situation were Lisa for not having security. I do not know if this is true, so please do not quote me on this. Supposedly, somebody said that they would vouch for those guys and got them into the event. And
get them in. There wasn't to get anything to get them in too. Nobody checked anything.
Yeah. So
no one checked a badge. No one checked shit. Nobody checked anything.
Yeah. And
it would have been so easy for them to put up little ropes because it was down a corridor. It would have been so easy for them to put up little ropes and have a single access entry point. So easy. And have even just one person standing there checking badges.
Yes. I made the choice to not go to the masquerade because that was the night it started really snowing.
Mm-hmm.
And just, I may have lived here all my life, but I've only been driving for a little under a year, or actually for like maybe 6 months. So I'm like, I did not feel confident driving at night in the snow. So I was like, you know what, for safety, I'm going to go home.
It was coming down.
Yeah. It was
coming down.
Honestly, I'm glad that I went home for more reasons than just the fact that it was snowing.
Yeah.
Because like I'm hearing all these stories about the masquerade party, and it's just gut wrenching for me because as somebody who's been a victim and had my experience downplayed, like Lisa is trying to do for this whole masquerade situation.
You should see what she put in the email that she wrote back to me when I gave her that bullet point thing.
That just kills me.
Hang on. Let me open this up.
While you pull that up, outside of the masquerade, so I was wearing my shoes. Because it's hard for me to walk around in fancy shoes when I'm
I do not blame you.
Anyways, so I'm wearing my slippers, and outside of the masquerade area, these guys were just standing there and they didn't have badges, and I didn't even think anything of it at the time. But this guy was like, "Hey, those are nice shoes." And I was like, "Yeah, thanks." And he's like, "Can I have them?" And I was like, "For like what? Like to take home and sniff? Like weirdo? Stay away from me." Like I thankfully had my friend with me. I wasn't alone. But we got on the elevator and we left. We were leaving. It was time to go.
That is really fucking weird.
Right? What are you gonna do? Yeah. You can buy these shoes on eBay like everybody else that wants to sniff these.
Right.
Yeah.
I do not know for a fact if these men were in the military or not. But that also.
As somebody who's married to former military, they have a look. You can tell.
I can see them interacting.
Guys were from that military group.
But based on the pictures, I was gonna say it looked like it, but like I also didn't want to shove them into the military bracket if they weren't it. But
young men don't stand that up straight unless they're like beaten
Yeah.
and conditioned to. I'm married an I'm married to an Air Force vet, so they don't do that
Yeah,
if they don't
I'm
have to.
married to Navy. Yeah, there's a look.
daughter of
There's
a
a look.
Air Force
You can
vet.
smell it on them.
You
So
really can.
You can smell the
Just
PTSD from a mile away. Like you can just totally like it. Just you can just
so
kind of like seeps
like
out of them.
first of all, that is disgusting, and I am hoping that their COs figure out who they are, and
Article 15s don't mean anything anymore, though. It's literally like it's like a detention after school. Like
Yeah.
Article 15s
it
used to be a
is,
big
but
thing, and it's not.
being
Like a slap
blasted
in the
on
wrist.
social media now.
That, yeah, but
And I
there's
hate
plenty
to
of things
say
that they
this,
make go away.
but and you're right. I'm hoping that the social media attention will garner them to do something publicly.
So
'Cause
speaking of, well, not social media, but did you say at 10 o'clock there was going to be a news report on this?
I did, and I was thinking that we could have like a weird little like screening party of Steve. Because I've been waiting all day for Steve. You should have seen me in my last live. I was like, where is Steve?
So who
There
is
is
Steve?
Steve.
Who,
Where did
who-
he go?
tell me
So
who Steve is?
Steve is a local reporter for the news, and he was on Threads earlier asking people about their experiences, saying, like, hey, I'm a reporter. I'm doing this segment on this show tonight, and like, do you want to like please share your experiences so that I can talk about, oh my god, not people shaking the event anymore. Oh man, I love this group chat. I love this group chat. This group chat was probably one of the greatest things to actually come out of this event, was just everybody being like, because with the Facebook group chat, there was no way for people to like talk like this and make friends, because we were so busy asking questions like, where the fuck is this? Where is this? How does this work? And nobody was moderating that chat as far as like admins or anybody to answer those questions that we had. So it was literally just us playing detective, trying to figure out where the fuck things were happening.
Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah, tell me.
Okay, so you haven't read the email from Lisa.
No, I did not.
Okay.
Which email from Lisa?
The long one. I was just gonna read like the portion that applied to what we were talking about of the men.
Go ahead and share whatever you want.
Yes, please.
Like I said, I'm using my tiny platform to give people who don't have a platform or who want their voices to be elevated to use me and my tiny platform to do so.
We'll just combine platforms because mine's tiny too, and maybe
Mine's super tiny, yeah. With Wonder Twins powers combined, maybe we'll be something.
maybe somebody will see something.
Maybe. So there was a whole thing that she wrote of, this is not the bumpy bumps email. This was the one afterward. So she broke down a bunch of things. It was like, oh, Friday was smooth sailing, and I ended up going back and like giving her a list by saying like, I think you missed the boat, and I'm going to break it down one by one for you. So here you go. But one of the things that she said was, finally, I saw the post where there was an incident at the hotel. She calls it an incident.
Incident is she?
An incident. Okay.
Incident.
Is she talking about the alleged physical assault on?
Correct. Yep. The only thing I have been made aware of is a situation, and I was there for, as was Diego. We handled it instantly. Friday night, her husband, somebody,
Her significant person.
somebody else. Friday night, Diego and I were standing guard, actually sitting right outside the room so we could hear ourselves talk, as was a security guard. The doors were open. 3 guys were on the dance floor. Apparently one had a mutual connection, but then when one decided they did not want that connection after all, it turned south. This is when the party was all but over. Not many people were left, maybe 50. There had been 1,500. Diego, me, and security immediately went into action. Diego swiftly took the action to remove them, and everyone was happy he did such. We had people involved come and thank us for our immediate action. We are going to make sure someone checks badges to get into those evening events every second until the very end next year. Even if we know an attendee, they must have a badge. My
Why wasn't
response,
that the process this year?
no,
like-
that's what they're saying for the future if she even
Right.
gets to
But
happen.
I'm asking, that's like standard practice for conventions.
Correct.
Why
So-
wasn't that like
I
So
wish I had an
have-
answer.
I
I wish
have
I
a
had an
theory on
answer.
that.
oh
I have a
Lisa
theory.
had an answer?
She answered me. She did
Oh.
answer me. But she didn't have an answer to that question.
Of
So
course.
I said to her, the incident at the hotel you mentioned should never have happened. You had unidentified, uninvited guests crash an event that we paid to be at. No one but you seemingly saw the security guard that you mentioned, a lone security guard, for quote unquote 1,500 people, as quoted in your email, is completely unacceptable, first off. A quick Google search renders the suggestion anywhere from one guard for every 100 people to one guard for every 20 to 50 people. But secondly, where were your workers checking to make sure everyone in attendance actually belonged there? I carried my badge around all night, and so did my friend, and not a single person asked to see either one of ours. None of your staff was even identifiable in the crowd Friday night. Your quote, we are going to make sure someone checks badges to get into these evening events every second until the very end of the year next year doesn't help the women who were allegedly assaulted this year. And you are just as culpable for that alleged assault as the men who are alleged to commit it, because you had no policy to keep us, your paying attendees, safe.
Yeah.
There
So-
is,
Her response, ready?
That- and I do want to say, maybe her defense for don't tell me. I'm just like making theories up because
Okay, go for it.
she's dug
I love theories.
dug
Go ahead.
herself such a deep enough hole that there is literally nothing she can do to get out of it. In my mind, personally, she's probably going to say, "Oh, the reason we didn't check badges was." Because actually, the real reason probably didn't check badges, aside from the fact that there weren't enough people to do it, is not everybody had a badge.
That's what I was going to say. Not everybody had a badge. So
That
they-
includes a name badge, let alone like
and a lanyard. Yes.
this
Not
was
everybody got
like
one.
somebody's swag bag. Like I watched a volunteer take it, and I did take it. I will admit that. I didn't know what else to do though, because it was the second day. The registration had technically closed. I came up to them and was like, "Hey, I do not have a lanyard. How do I fix this?" And they just took it out of his swag bag, which I'm like, here's the thing. Here's the
Good
thing.
solution.
This. Say you plan on having 3,000 people at your event. Shit goes wrong, things go missing in shipping. You order an extra 700 just to be on the safe side. And if you don't end up using those, then take it as a loss, because I'm willing to bet that these did not cost $300 to make. They maybe cost 2 or 3. Maybe.
And they could have handed them out like on the last day. Who wouldn't have grabbed an extra lanyard? I mean, people
Exactly.
love
Like-
stuff that said, "Hey, we were at this event."
It's like, hey, like having just having everybody get at least this part of the lanyard to
Yes. Yes, and then
put
you can
the badge on should have been the
use
bare.
the other part next year.
Not like I didn't need this whole pouch
Nope.
with multiple pockets.
Did you use the pocket?
Needed-
I didn't use the pockets.
I did
Please.
because there were no like getting a bag, like even just like I was dropping shit left and right because there was nowhere in signing areas to sit down for like 30 seconds to just put stuff in my backpack. So I
Yeah.
was carrying shit around and I was dropping it left and right. And I am so thankful that so many authors, like they saw that I was dropping stuff and they were kind enough to give me, like if they had an extra bag, they were kind enough to hand it to me and be like, here, take this, use it. I'm like, you shouldn't have to do that. And I recognize some of that's on me for probably taking as much crap as I did, but It was free crap. And I do also want to again preface this whole thing by saying I did not pay for my ticket. I was invited by an author. She had an extra reader ticket and she gave it to me. So when it comes to things like refunds and stuff, I'm
I
not
don't
going
think it matters if you paid for it or not. You are there at the same as us.
No, and
Absolutely.
I'm saying, but when it comes to the financial side of it, like as far as like getting things like refunds, and doing stuff like that, I think that everybody deserves to have their refund, but obviously I don't really have much of a, I don't want to say I don't have much of a say in the conversation because I know that saying that people deserve their refunds is a lot. And I agree that that is, but like, obviously I know that I won't like financially benefit from people getting refunds because again, I did not pay the $375 to be there that everybody else did.
You ready for her response?
Oh yes, we haven't heard the
Ready?
response yet. Go ahead,
ready?
story time.
Before you do that, I just have one really quick thing. I am very proud to say that the author who did give me my ticket for this year has pulled out of next year. So
Fabulous.
Can we ask who the author was? Is that something? you might-
Krista Sandor, I love her. If you guys are on my Instagram, this could be for anybody watching back or just even you guys. If you check out my Instagram, 90% of my posts are just related to her books because I love her so fucking much. It's not even funny. I'm like obsessed with
I
her
don't know if
books.
I've heard of her. Who is she?
She.
I'm sorry, that's probably like super offensive to you if you're like this.
No,
lady.
it doesn't offend me at all. I love
I'm
it.
in love with her. I don't know who she is.
I love it when people tell me that like they don't know the authors that I really enjoy because then I get to be like, here is a magical world of books that you now get to explore
Yeah, for the first time.
for the first time, and I
Yeah.
get to experience it for the first time again through you. Like
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people that's like that gets offended if people like don't know like who my favorite authors are. Like that it doesn't like that kind of shit doesn't bother me because I'm just like even in day to day, if I brought up that name to somebody who wasn't in the reader space, they'd be like, who? 90% of the authors that I talk about, even if they are New York Times bestselling authors, like if I say Emily Rath in the book world, everybody knows who I'm talking about. If I were to say that just like in a normal conversation, most people wouldn't know what I'm talking about. I will tell you about Krista Sanders' books after we hear the response from Lisa, because I have to know.
Okay. So that there's a response from Lisa, and then I sent her one back, and you'll like that one.
Okay.
So you're not gonna like hers, but
Of course.
I'm gonna fix it. I'll fix it. I promise. Her
Wait, what do
response.
you mean by fix it?
I'll tell you what I said.
Oh, I thought you were like she was making like grammatical errors and shit.
No. I'm because again, I can gray rock this. This doesn't rattle my cage. So I can rattle hers just as much as she's trying to rattle mine because it doesn't affect me. So
Do it.
her response that that told her that she was just as culpable or will be just as culpable, whatever. So me, Diego, and the guard were not only there, the guard was the one who escorted the guys out. Diego handed it first, though, and everyone started cheering Diego. Diego was quite forceful about it. There was no assault that I know of, and not only did I talk to the people involved that night, I talked to the people since. No one has seen any such thing, but if you hear of someone saying something else, please let me know. I have security on alert. This case involved a daughter of college age and a protective mother. The daughter actually liked the guy. The mother didn't like the guy at all. And the moms are allowed to be protective bears. I am. And yes, the badge process. Yes, we have the badge process, but there was some kind of personal connection here that I thought then we needed to be stronger about that. I want everything to be electronic too. Badges can be shared. We had people literally peeling off ticket numbers and moving them to cheat the signing. And we have a method that can't be manipulated and we have to have a method that can't be manipulated for all kinds of reasons. Okay. I told you weren't going to like it. I told you. I warned you.
I just
Okay.
want to say the victim blaming,
Mhm.
absolutely disgusting.
Mhm.
I happen to have Lisa Renee's books in my pile, and I was like,
I'm sorry. I left them in the hotel room. I left them.
I
Didn't
would
even
have
bother
like
taking them.
I honestly, I didn't
torn
have
off the
those.
cover and like I don't know, put them in the trash and taken pictures or something. Should have made a statement like
I
that. I didn't
think
even
what
that.
I'll do
Well, I
is
can-
I'll
wanna
probably
look?
Yeah, let's see it.
You want to look? This is so my response is the big red writing. Okay, ready?
You edited her email. I love it.
I did. Well, she did it to mine. I went in like point by point, and she went in and like did responses. So I went back and did the same thing to her. And I said, because I started my last email with Lisa, you're missing the boat. And I said, again, you are missing it. I appreciate that you and Diego were there and did the removal, but it should have never happened to begin with. You two should have never been in that position because you should have checked who was in attendance from jump. There should have been more security than Diego and one security guard from the hotel.
But
There
nobody
were
saw.
there were people saying the exact opposite thing in the Facebook group chat that has since been deleted.
Yep.
I'm a mama bear too, to a little girl. To think in the year 2024 that this kind of thing is still possible to happen scares the shit out of me as a girl mom. I hope my daughter never has to deal with anything like this, but I know the odds are not in her favor, which is why, as an organizer, a woman, and a mama bear, you should have been the extra safety net for us.
Agreed.
So, and then at the end of my email, where was I? Okay. Her whole thing at the end here, I told her that I said, we are so mad because your deflecting and lack of apology and seemingly complete absence of empathy is honestly appalling. I could have lived with yeah, this got way out of hand and I'm sorry, but instead you've attempted to invalidate my experience by telling me it didn't happen. You've invalidated the experiences of others in the Facebook chat by not even acknowledging your part in it at all. It is your event, Lisa. If you're not remotely responsible, then who the hell is? And she goes, I'm confused on this. I've said I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart. And I said, you said you're sorry, but you have not accepted your accountability in this at all. And she said, I'm listening, I promise. And I said, prove it.
No.
Take the accountability. Fall on your sword just a little bit. I understand you're human, but I understand you're human. I do, but so are we. This was our hard-earned money and time away from our families that we trusted with, and you fumbled. We are looking for accountability that you acknowledge that you had a part in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I will say that if it does come to light that somebody actually, and I'm not saying they weren't, if there is somebody named that comes forward as they were assaulted, because I don't have a name still, I don't have any, I can't say for sure that somebody was assaulted at the event because I have not heard a name. And I'm not saying it didn't happen. I just can't say for certain because we don't have a name. But
we don't have a name of the guys or of
To tell you the truth, even if we did have a name, I would not. And if we do have a name in the future, I will not be the person sharing that name until they give me permission to do so.
No, and I'm not saying
that's
that
not my thing.
No, and I'm not saying you would do that either, but I am like saying for anybody who's like nervous about speaking out as far as like maybe if you're in the survivors group chat or anything, know that if you tell us who you are and you explicitly say, I do not want my name to be associated with this, I want to remain anonymous, we will make sure that happens for you. Like,
but I think so. Where I was going with that is that I think that Lisa is probably maybe covering her butt a little bit to avoid possibly a lawsuit if it does come to light that there is a name of a victim or somebody who did assault somebody. So I think that is maybe why she's not taking responsibility, because if she takes responsibility now, then it's easier to place blame on her later.
But then don't deflect it though. Don't try to change. Don't try to tell me what happened to me didn't fucking happen, because it did. You weren't there. You weren't right there. But speaking of lawsuit, I am curious because it's midnight here and I have to go to bed, but I would love to know how, because speaking of lawsuits, of probably a massive one that could go against her for the lack of ADA compliance for that, especially that Aurora Room 1. How in the hell did you navigate that?
Oh my gosh.
How?
I couldn't. I had such a hard time. I said, excuse me, kindly, of course, to so many people. And because everybody was water deprived, sleep deprived, food deprived, everyone was just grumpy. Everyone was grumpy. And it was hard to be like, hey, can you just move your cart a little bit so I can get by? It was really hard.
Food. Remember, Queen Lisa said, "Let them eat cake."
There wasn't any. Okay, there was actually plenty of cake. The cake was in abundance, and it was I'm really sorry if you're the cake baker. It was the nastiest cake that I've ever had. I bake cakes. I might be a cake snub, but those cakes were really gross. The cupcakes were amazing. The
cupcakes were amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Not great.
I could have eaten like a dozen of them.
Those did you try the lemon zest ones?
No.
Like,
there was lemon?
They were lemony and they were amazing. And I would have taken the entire tray home with me if I could have. I want to figure out who bakes those, because whoever baked them is about to get a fat check from me, because I will be ordering them to my house. And
you're so close. You could totally go back and get lemon cupcakes. I'm so jealous.
But I'm not going to go back. If they work for the hotel, I'm not going back, because
no. But if they were a third party vendor and they brought in cupcakes, then you could totally go back and get cupcakes.
If they were a third party. If you happen to know anybody who's watching this, who made the cupcakes for the welcome party?
Who made the cupcakes?
Please give them to me, because we've low-key been joking, also not joking, about doing our own conventions in the chat. So we do in fact vendors. And if it was a third-party vendor, I will gladly invest in them to bring their cupcakes, because shit was amazing.
And I'm sure there would also be cookies, but that's not the point.
Cookies.
Where did the cookies go? Actually, there is an answer to that question now.
Because you're Kelly, because you're going to bed soon. I just wanted to address the ADA thing really fast, and I can talk more about it after you go to bed.
No, I felt so bad of like, I could barely manage as an able-bodied individual. Like how it must have been an absolute nightmare for somebody who wasn't.
It was awful. Okay, so the Aurora room, that was unfortunate. It was hard saying excuse me. I don't know. I hate like being a burden on people. I really hate that.
Yeah.
My biggest problem was with the vendor room. I could not get into the vendor room. I could get to the first row of vendors, and that was it. And I had the pre-orders with Eternal Embers. I could not get to them. I could not get my Jennifer Hartman book. I couldn't get my Jessie Hall book. And because of that, and I messaged them right after the first vendor event, but the second vendor event was after the signing time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna also pull up the 9 News website, because supposedly Steve is making his appearance. Would you like to stay for his appearance, Kelly? I know it's midnight for you.
No, I'll wait. I'll wait. I gotta get water first. Hold on.
Get your water, get your snacks. We are having a Steve screening party here on my channel after this ad, apparently, because I hate how many ads I keep getting for this stupid thing. So hold on, let me share my screen. If this is illegal, I don't particularly care. So wait, hold on.
Department of potential lawsuits.
A third party recommended his firing from the South Adams County file. Then the city of Brooklyn hired him to work in HR. Here is 9 News.
That is literally just them talking about random shit. Oh no! Heidi disappeared.
There we go. Oof. Oh,
where did Heidi go? I wish
what happened? Where'd she go?
She said, sorry, I'm in the sticks. So I'm assuming her internet connection dropped.
Oh, bummer.
Which sucks. But Kelly, or Heidi. Oh, there she is. She's back.
I'm sorry.
Baby, come back.
You're good. I'm trying to figure out if this is okay. So this is actually live.
Okay.
For right now.
Okay.
And this is just a bunch of who is a naughty man and not a man. I love Tyranny. did you see what she said in the group chat? She was like, starting with the fire chief, who is a naughty man and not in a good way.
God.
I love her. I want to be her friend. Very much.
Oh, I met her. Her last name is Heidi. I met her standing in line. She's really cool.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't care about the fire guy retiring. I'm sorry. I really don't.
No. This is the water bottle I took home from Denver, by the way.
Which one? The red one?
Nope, this one. The one I bought from the store. I left them both in the hotel room too.
I left both of I got 2 water bottles. I left them at the hotel.
Yep. And I was like, no thanks.
I got a blue one and I got a red one. One was an RTD one and one came from an author. And I'm really sorry if you're the author, but I just didn't have space.
I'm really sorry if you're the author or whoever of the other one that I left. I just didn't want it. Sorry. But if I did bring another water bottle into this house, I think my husband would kill me. So,
I'm too poor and broke to say no to free stuff like that because I just moved into my first apartment and I don't even
drove. You could take all the things. I should have given you my water bottles. You could have all.
I know
of
you
them.
could have had mine too, and my backpack. Didn't even take the damn backpack.
I would have taken all of this stuff, but that's just because I am broke.
I left the hotel on Sunday after checkout time, and after the maids come through the rooms, they usually leave out in the hallways along each room. They usually leave out the stuff that is not trash, but stuff that is like salvageable because they. Mm-hmm. So I worked at a Marriott, but like usually they just divide it between the staff, and there were so many bags out in the hall. It was amazing to see.
Well, that's how I got my book cart. Was somebody posted in the Facebook group that they couldn't take theirs with them.
Yeah.
And so it was in the middle of the speakeasy party, and so I left the speakeasy party early and went on a hunt through the guest side of the hotel to find that thing before somebody else did.
This cart.
I needed the cart. I deserved the cart.
Who is that creepy man on that? That was creepy.
He stole a car and a child was inside of it, and he has not been arrested. So
good. That's good.
That is very good. I got that Amber Alert for that yesterday, and it's when I got home, and it scared the shit out of me. I was like, "What the fuck just happened?" But honestly.
All right, Steve, hurry up. It's midnight over here.
Come on, Steve.
What's taking so long? We don't need to hear about Black Forest Hills Elementary. Oh, an attempted kidnapping? Oh, no.
Oh, creep. Okay.
Oh, my God.
That person's been hanging out in the meth too long.
I was going to say, what's wrong with you?
I was going to be nicer and said he looks like an extra zombie from The Walking Dead, but meth works a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely looked like that picture, he was definitely on something.
Yeah.
Poor thing. Poor kid, poor guy.
Now attempted kidnapping. Heidi, can you just do the news?
I'm sorry. I live in the sticks, so my internet cuts out a lot, but what did you just say?
I was just saying tyranny. Man dead after both capsizes in reservoir.
This news is super depressing. This sucks. I never watch the news.
I don't either.
I don't watch it either. Bro, that bookshot, they did him dirty. They really did do him dirty, Melissa. I don't know if you're watching this from my side. But yeah, they did in fact do that man hella dirty. Deserved, but damn. Wait, which is this?
Over glass death. I don't know what that is.
I don't know. I don't have the sound on for him because I'm worried that the sound is copyrighted and they'll I'll turn the sound on for Steve, obviously.
Right, but you don't want to play the whole newscast because it might be
right.
Yeah, it's fine.
Copywriting is dealing with copyrights is fun. Bad guy cop not testifying in his murder case. That's probably a smart thing for him to do because it's, from my understanding, it is not smart to testify at your own murder trial. This is like 9 News Speed Edition. We've covered so many topics in 7 minutes. We really have. News broadcasters, though, they go like fast. They are fast.
Motoring right through. Okay. No.
Okay. Congratulations to the inmates that are succeeding somewhere.
Cool.
No driver's license.
Cool.
That place is a lawless land, anyways.
How did this get top billing? Come on. The books.
This is what we're here for, Steve. I get that it's your job to report on all the news.
of books. Like, that's bigger. Like,
we're gonna know so many random facts at work tomorrow. I got the day off because I got my Ehlers-Danlos diagnosis, and I was like, so day off? Or like, and my doctor was like, yeah. I was like,
cool. Thanks.
Algebra.
This is the only way I can stand watching the news.
Quietly.
Quietly. I don't know if Tyranny is watching through the stream or not, but this is like wildly like, well, I'm like, I got the chat going, I got all the things going, and it's hysterical. And
I think Tyranny is watching. I'm trying to read the thread in the tea room.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
And I'm switching back and forth between the tea room and also threads because the threads are just going nuts.
I bet they are.
Did we lose Kelly?
No, I'm here.
No,
I'm here. I can't. I'm on my phone, so I can't read anything. So
are you in the bathroom, Kelly? Did you come to us from the bathroom?
No.
Is that why you're turning your camera off?
No. I was trying to be nosy to see what everybody was saying.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
We're literally just waiting for the topic to change because we're doing breakthrough. We're still waiting. Program.
Yeah, this is a good time. Go back and read it.
Okay, let me see.
We'll call you again
call me back.
We will 100% let you know if Steve shows up.
Yeah,
I am
whoever's
very
supposed
interested.
to be reporting on this shit. I don't know if it's Steve. Wow, the inmates have gotten a solid 2 minutes.
They really have, and it's still going.
Oh, hey, you know what? In all seriousness, I definitely believe in the rehabilitation part of prison for people who are able to be rehabilitated and put back into society, especially people for nonviolent crimes, and especially in Colorado for stupid crimes like weed possession.
Right,
because weed is legal here now.
Yeah, let those
anybody
go.
who was arrested for that shit in the past they need to let them go because that it's fucking ridiculous that it has now been approved on a state level.
Kelly, are you dying? Let us know.
I'm good. I'm good.
Can't tell if you're screaming or laughing.
No, my phone tipped over and I was like, oh crap. I'm like, oh no. Come on, they're still the inmates. Okay.
Kelly, did we meet at Readers Take Denver? Does this face look familiar to you?
Maybe, but like on my phone, your face is about that big. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know.
You look really familiar. I don't know.
Maybe it's a definite possibility.
Maybe we're friends through another something. Who knows?
Possibly. You never know.
The inmates are still getting time, which is
God.
They're still going. We're still talking inmates.
Lily needs to sleep.
I should get my cat.
Nope, still going. Still talking about inmates.
They're still going on the inmates. This is nutty.
I feel like if inmates were put in charge of organizing Readers Take Denver, they would have done a better job.
Yeah. I feel like They would have done an amazing job.
Especially those who were in there for like organized crime. Like,
oh my gosh,
they're gonna get shit done efficiently.
It would have been done so well.
It would have been done so well. They would have been able to get people in and out like that.
They would have rocked that shit.
They would have just been like, coming up 60 seconds. Okay. I don't want more money, please. Family learns English, okay.
My favorite thread on here. You can't gaslight thousands of people at once. Readers take Denver, Lisa. Hold my beer.
Nuggets versus Lakers. Okay.
Yeah.
About that.
Fabulous.
Readers take Denver.
Oh man. A commercial break. Come on.
It's a commercial break.
Man.
Damn it.
Let's see. And an Amazon warehouse. Healthcare on day one.
Come on, Colorado. Don't you know it's midnight over here? Like, it's
Seriously.
midnight in Eastern time. Like,
my cab driver, no, cab. What am I? Oh my gosh. My Uber driver to the airport was so chatty. He had so much to say about Colorado.
mine did too.
It was
so funny.
Did your
a bunch of people?
Did your person have a Tesla? A black Tesla?
No.
Oh, we
no,
must have
blue like Hyundai electric car. But yeah, I learned all about the conspiracy theory of the airport and the devil and the Satan horse on the way in the airport.
I love him. I will gladly talk about Lucifer for hours. And the conspiracy theory, like, most of the conspiracy theories about DIA are total BS. Some of it is true. Like, yes, there are tunnels that go under the hotel or under the airport. That is how employees get to and from different areas. That it's no different than the tunnels at like Disney.
Yeah. No, but he was like, yeah, apparently the conspiracy theory is that like if World War III happens, that's where the president is going to go. And I was like, cool. How far is Supermax from here? Because you really think that's a good idea? Like,
right.
Yeah. 100. Yeah, there's no way that the president will wind up in. There's
just be under the White House.
CIA
right?
is not even close to the most secure facility in Colorado. If they were going to put the president in any facility, likely they have a facility here that we don't, as civilians, don't even fucking know about because
probably,
duh. But if it had to be one that we knew, it would probably be Cheyenne Mountain because you can't even get onto that base as a civilian. Like they don't have like some bases do like touristy stuff. And
not anymore.
Visitors passes.
Not anymore unless you're related. No, you can't.
Yeah. No, not so much anymore. Jeff Coe,
my mom on. Yeah, it was. We used to live on one. We actually used to live in New Mexico, so it was actually close to Colorado, but I never made it to Colorado living out there.
So Katie Robert posted on Threads, someone tell me I don't have time to design a convention from the ground up. Just over here thinking thoughts.
I replied to that.
You did?
I should be in the comments on there somewhere, but like
there's 109 comments. I don't have time for that right now.
No, okay.
I have news to watch.
No, I'm down for the demand for ESL classes for adults rising. I am so down for teaching more people to speak English, especially if they're wanting to learn English. And I just realized how bad that sounded of being like, oh, they must
more water.
I'll
be back.
But
yes, please drink water. I heard of 2 authors needing IV bags after the signing.
Doesn't
surprise me. I saw pictures of one of them.
Yeah, I saw a picture of one too.
The other one's just alleged.
The one wrote a Facebook post that nearly got me into tears for apologizing for her stuff that she had no responsibility for.
Right?
Yep. Oh my God, that was awful.
Did you guys see that after the second signing, when they were flashing the lights, the authors, they had 15 minutes to pack up and move out. There were readers helping authors to pack up their stuff to help the authors get out.
I wish I would have been able to do that.
If I'd have known, I totally would have.
If I had known, I would have done that.
And like, there's not a lot that I can do, but I helped. I am friends with Kendra Moreno, and I helped I put stuff in boxes. Like there's not much I can do, but I boxed up stuff for her so that she could get out of there because they were yelling at people. They were so
awful
to people in there.
That's so awful.
It was horrible.
It was more fun when it was a topic per minute. Facts.
Who said that?
Melissa in the group chat. She was like, she's referencing the news being like,
oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you get 60 seconds to talk about something. That's it.
These news stories are super long.
As a child, get a quieter car.
I know. This is.
All right, what do we got, Rachel? Give me something good.
Street racers drive me crazy. Let's see.
In Denver, and get this, they're all free.
Wow.
Definitely not what we went to.
I mean, they've accomplished so much in their lives in their home country, and they come here and they want to do more.
Yeah, and they're just so happy to have the chance to be having a fresh start and to start over. They're so eager to learn and do what they can.
Yeah. And what's the demand like in terms of number of folks?
Oh my God. Listen, I support Man, you were seriously not hugged enough as a child.
Oh my gosh, look at those cute little bears.
Bears? Oh, okay. This is worth unmuting for.
With their day. We just don't have them coming back down. You know,
we just don't have
them. Climbing the ladder. How
sister
cute.
Says no, I can go higher, or maybe I don't know. The sister goes up, or they.
That's
both
so dangerous.
This raises troubling questions, Lauren Robinson, about the capabilities of bears, right? You know they can climb trees. That's fine. I don't.
We
live
knew
in
that.
Trees. They're climbing human stuff there, like they're humans, and I don't like it.
You know, it's scary. I saw that video a few days ago on Instagram, and I was worried about how they got down, and two, I could just envision Mama Bear at the bottom saying, "You two get back down here now. You're in trouble." Well, thankfully everybody made it back down. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at those temperatures this afternoon.
That was kind of funny.
That was
Kelly. You're so funny. You're like, oh my gosh.
Her segue into like, let's take a look at the weather after bears climbing the ladder. Like, get on with it.
I love Kyle's like response to that though. He was like, bears can climb trees, and that's fine. I don't live in a tree, but now they're climbing human stuff, like
human stuff. Do you live up a ladder, sir? I don't think you have anything to worry about.
He lives up a staircase, so he's scared.
No, you don't have opposable thumbs, so you think you'll be all right.
No, Kyle is concerned about the bears.
He's concerned about the bears.
It's very nice.
And I appreciate, like, Kyle, I 100% appreciate that for you, bud. I appreciate you wanting to make sure that the bears are safe. And also
maybe they just want to snuggle.
At the top of the ladder?
No, in his house.
Oh, at his house. Yeah, of course.
I will say, though, if you ever happen to find yourself back in Colorado, but you guys are from states where wildlife can get a little bit iffy.
We had a moose in our backyard.
Oh, yeah. Moose, they scare me more than bears do. Straight up.
They were in our backyard.
Because with bears, if you act like crazy enough, they'll leave you the fuck alone.
Moose,
on the other hand, will just kick you in the head for no fucking reason other than the fact that they can and they want to.
We had a rattlesnake infestation at the park next to our house.
Nope, burn the house
during
down.
COVID.
Nope.
So it was like the apocalypse here. We had the moose and then the rattlesnake infestation and then something else happened and I was like, nope, I'm never leaving my house again.
Where is this? So I know never to go there. Where is this?
I live in northern Utah.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Nope. I had friends refer to, because I have a very irrational fear of snakes and I can't, like, it's a physiological, like, panic attack type response. And my friend that I was with at Reader's Take Denver, she said something about, oh, hey, don't look at this. There's a nope rope on it.
Oh, no.
And I had never heard of a snake referred to as a nope rope, and that is what they are now. No. But they are called nope ropes now because
Nope rope.
I'm curious though. Now that you're bringing this up, does it like affect you when it's on like book covers? Because lately there's been a trend of book cover designers putting like snakes
all over
on
it.
covers.
So if they're like drawings of one, fine. And like the clear like CGI'd like Nagini in Harry Potter is fine, but like the real ones, so like the people that like have the snakes and put them on their books and take pictures of it, that I'm like, I just throw my phone and go nope and just walk away.
Okay, that's valid. I was just curious because like
Yeah.
I know that's also, but that's been like a trend for
And that's what my friends are like, oh, look away. And I'm like, is it a real one or is it a drawing one? I'm like, well, it's drawn, but it looks real. I'm like, no, my brain knows that it's not real. But like, I am very aware when they're around, and it's very odd. Like, I had a neighbor across the street, and she got my daughter off the bus one day when I was running late, coming home from work. And I walked in, and like all of a sudden the hair on the back of my neck stood up when I walked up the stairs. And I immediately looked over and I saw a tank in the corner of their dining room. And I was like, oh, fuck. So I just like, and I have had panic. My reaction to seeing a snake has actually scared full grown, like adult men, because I can't breathe. I start to shake. I can't talk. It's very alarming, especially when it comes out of nowhere like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was picking up my daughter, who was 5 at the time. And I was like, if I've scared adult men, I really don't want her to be like that. So I managed to like hold it in, and I texted the mom later, and I was like, hey, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to like, kind of like grab my kid and run type of thing, but I am terrified of snakes. And I saw the tank, whatever. She was like, oh my, she's like, you really must be afraid. No one even notices her. No one hardly notices her where she is. And I was like, nope, first thing I saw. And she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, don't be like, it's your house. Like you don't need to be sorry. Like, hi, my name is Tara, and we have a snake who lives in our dining room. Like, you don't need to do that. Like, that's totally fine. You don't have to do that. But she felt really bad. And
it's like, that's a member of your family.
Yeah. And she lives in your dining room, and it's totally cool. And they were having a birthday party for her son. Her son was in my daughter's class.
Next to the snake?
No. Yeah, they were going to have a birthday party in the house. She was like, said, oh, Andrew and Emma will go, but I can't go. She goes, is it because I'll move her to a different room? I was like, no, I actually have to work, but thank you for wanting to rearrange your
really okay.
living situation for me to come to the birthday party. But I appreciate it, but no, I'm not avoiding you. I really do have to work.
It was a lie. You were washing your hair.
Yes, I was.
Just to avoid the party.
I was freezing to death in a hockey rink. That's what I do for a job. So
you work at a hockey rink, like a pro one?
No, I work for junior teams. So 16 to 21-year-old kids I work with.
Those are the ones that are getting famous soon, though.
Not these ones.
But like, did Steve lie to us?
Maybe he needs to do more research. Maybe he needs to talk to Lisa. Because he probably has to attempt to get both sides, I would imagine.
Well, I think if he's trying to make like a Steve, buddy, don't gaslight us like that. Exactly what I'm thinking. I'm like,
gaslit enough. We've been gaslit enough, Steve, this weekend. We don't need any more.
You don't
even have to give opinions. Also. Just like say this is what people are saying online. This is what the people I've talked to are saying.
Yeah, alleged things happen.
Yeah, he can use that word too, right? He can use the allegedly thing.
Yeah.
I've seen some really sketchy news reporting, so he can say alleged.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
No way, new uniforms.
You get new uniforms every year, guys. Nobody needs
legendary. Look at those.
The ability to give a single solitary fuck about sports uniforms that aren't fictional and that I can't buy and wear myself and pretend that I got it from said fictional boyfriend.
My fictional boyfriend from this fictional book gave it to me. Oh my gosh, we're like best friends now.
But see, here's the thing. Here's how I know all that's made up. I can't read sports romance because I work in sports, so reading is my escape from it, so I can't do it. But seeing like these little Pinterest boards of like hockey romance and football romance, I am so sorry. There is nobody being held by their boyfriend on the ice after a game. Do you know how bad those fuckers smell?
Oh yeah,
After a game,
I dated a hockey player.
You cannot get within 10 feet. They're like, "Hey, I hurt my," and after a game, I'm like, "I'll see you tomorrow." Nope. Are you dead? Nope. Get out. Go away. Nope.
Do you know what also is on the cover of Hockey Romance that is not true in the real world? They have teeth. All of them have teeth on the cover of the Hockey Romance novels. Perfectly
So all of
straight
mine do.
teeth.
All of my kids have. All of my boys that I work with have teeth. But that's because in the age group that main organization I work with makes them wear the cage or the bubble because you have to wear it in college. So they're like, you're gonna have to get used to playing in it. So you're just gonna have to wear it. So I don't have to deal with eyes, noses, and teeth. Luckily, when they get hurt, because that's my job. But I was like, I saw that the other day of somebody's Pinterest board thing, whatever, of a girl being held up on a hockey player holding a girl in his arms like on the ice after a game, and I was like, no,
where's her nose plug? There's no way.
Yeah,
like,
and how is the front of her not completely like soaked?
Like she needs to be breathing through her mouth, and she's probably still tasting it. Like it's not good. And football, oh god,
oh my gosh,
my husband.
Okay, so I don't understand how hockey players' pads don't get like all moldy. There's like no way that they're not molding. Oh, they do.
Yes, they do. They grow staph. They grow MRSA and staph and whatever because they don't dry. But yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
But my husband called me a germaphobe. I was working for a semi-pro arena football team in Amarillo, Texas, and he would see me with the hand sanitizer after every time I touched somebody. And at one point, he saw me like going down my arms with it.
And Padres beat Rockies. Woo!
He was like, I didn't know you were such a germaphobe. I went, you go over there to Jay Will and go elbows deep into his shoulder pads at third quarter and tell me you don't need to take a fucking shower. And he going. And I said, you put your arm in there, you come back out and you're all shiny and you realize that sweat isn't yours. You're doing something about it. And he was like, yeah, that's kind of gross. I was like, yeah, so I'm not a germaphobe. That's just really gross.
That is what I have to do to not get
in trouble and sued.
Yes, I don't want those things.
Nope.
Another commercial break.
More ads.
We need to message Steve. We just do.
I'm gonna DM Steve right now. I'm literally about to I'm pulling up threads right now.
Okay, I'm gonna go get my pajamas on while you're doing that, because if he's screwing off, I'm going to bed. It's late here, and my daughter gets up early to go to school. So,
Tierney, are you? Do you think the people in the threads are watching us? They must be, right?
Oh, you gotta be kidding me!
What?
Update, we held off for the day to gather more on this.
Oh, Steve.
You whore.
We have been gaslit.
I feel cheated. I feel misled. I feel cheated for today. So does that mean tomorrow?
That's what they're going to tell us. It's actually going to be in like 3 days. They're going to make us watch their news over and over.
Well, I'm in Massachusetts. I don't give a shit about your news.
Right?
I didn't watch it while I was in Colorado. I don't care. Well, the bridge broke in Fall River, too. I don't care.
Steve, if you happen to be watching this, I am upset.
Damn it, Steve. We had faith in you.
Thumbs down on your news, Steve.
We trusted you. We trusted you. But, I mean, I guess if you're going to do more thorough reporting so you get the whole story, I guess that's okay. But you could have told us before, especially us East Coasters it is 12:30.
Yeah. You sound
really I got home at 1 a.m. this morning from my flight.
Oh my gosh. That's awful.
I am tired because my daughter scared the crap out of me at 4 a.m. because my husband got up for work. She got up, and at 4 a.m. you don't expect the door to open to your bedroom, so I nearly peed my pants when the door opened because I'd only been asleep for a couple hours by the time I got home and unwound and everything. So, well, it's been fun, ladies.
So, Kelly, before you go, I want to end your night on a really low note because I do want to talk about the ADA thing one more time.
Do it.
So I have been searching on the Facebook group for a long time and making posts about how they're where's the ADA accommodations? Like, what are the ADA accommodations? I said that a number of times, no response. But a week ago, they said, if you have ADA needs, message this email address. So I sent him a message and I said, here are my concerns. What are you guys doing to address these? I got an email back, and I'm not gonna read it because then I have to pull it up. But it basically said, in very horrible grammar, it said, if you need, no, it was bad. It was really bad. I'll read it another time. It was so bad. It said, if you need help, we don't have the staff to work with you one-on-one, which I had never asked for. I didn't ask for somebody to like follow me around from your staff. That's not their job.
No.
But she said, if you need someone, you can ask on the readers group to help you out.
The fuck?
So you needed to find your own exit buddy.
Yep, that's what she said. And no other accommodations were offered at all. Nothing was offered. Just go ask on the readers group.
So
that was their
if
solution.
You had your pre-orders that they also told us to go and just message their authors' PAs by ourselves, even though it was certainly reasonable for us to have enough time to go and get them at the event. So not only were you, poor individual, having to potentially do that, but you also had to message some total strangers to see if maybe they would help you.
And track them down and walk all over the hotel to find them. Yeah.
I hate people. I really do. I hate people sometimes. Like I really do.
I really, really do. It was a little bit of a rough weekend, and I messaged my husband on the first evening on Thursday after I stood in line for 2.5 hours, and I said, I want to come home. I'm done.
Yeah.
And he said, well, maybe just stick it out for like the first signing because we did pay a lot for you to be there. And I said, okay, I'll stick it out one night, but I don't have high hopes.
Me. Yeah. Oh my God.
He talked me into staying, and I don't know if I'm glad about that or not.
Well, I mean, if you didn't stay, we would not.
Yep. Well, you two enjoy the rest of your conversation, and hopefully we see Steve tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Report back for sure.
I hope we see
you later
tomorrow. Otherwise, I'm driving back to Denver, going to the 9 News building, and being like, "Where is Steve?" And they probably won't tell me. They will probably call security and get me out. But you know what? At least I'll actually have security.
Good point. Bye.
And be like, "How the fuck did you get inside the building?" But so yeah.
Oh my gosh, she is so delightful. She is so much fun.
I love talking to her.
Yeah. On that note, I guess I should probably go too because I think my kids are still up and it's now 10:30 here. So I should probably go to bed.
It's 10:35 here too.
I should maybe be an adult and do adulty things.
Yeah, I should probably put stuff away, but I want to put stuff
Make more piles. Send me pictures of your piles.
I will send
you
pictures of more piles because like what I'm doing right now, I can show you what I've done so far because
yes.
I'm
show me your piles before we go.
There's like this is awkward because I'm on my laptop, but like
it's fine.
This pile right here is like all of like my personal belongings that I took out of the various bags because when I was packing to leave, I was just throwing shit in bags. So I was like, get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not staying any longer to organize this shit. My stack of books that is a combination of books I brought, books I bought, books that were given to me. And then this is my. I'm just gonna have to unplug my laptop and do it this way. This pile is my stack of things with QR codes on them. So like
you got a ton of QR codes. Oh my gosh.
I've been going through and scanning them and signing up for like author newsletters and if any of these have like free ebooks on them, I've been getting the free ebooks and making notes of them.
I'm super jealous, not jealous. I'm glad that you got that. And I'm glad other people had the experience to be able to get to all of those tables. I didn't get to a fourth of the tables. I couldn't get there and I couldn't get swag. I was so upset.
Aside from the fact that it wasn't ADA compliant and things like that, I think part of the reason I also was able to get as much free swag as I did was because I was not under pressure to get pre-orders by a certain time.
Oh, and I didn't have, I think I had 4 pre-orders. I didn't have a pressure to get any pre-orders.
Yeah, and the fact that like the vendors and stuff and like the signings and stuff were inaccessible to people is beyond screwed up. And I'm not okay with that happening. Let's see, what other piles do we have? Got my pile of bookmarks. Weirdly, I got 2 packs of tissues when I was there.
Oh my gosh, they're so cute.
They give us some really random swag. Speaking of random swag,
did you get the pill pack?
I'm sorry?
Did you get the heart-shaped pill pack?
No, I didn't know that was a thing. But I did get a business card from an author. It's a condom.
What? That's cool. Who gave those out?
J.M. Elliott, I believe.
Oh.
Literally.
Thank you, JM, keeping the world safe.
And I thought that this was hysterical. I saw it and I started cracking up in the middle of the signing. I'm like, this is hilarious. This is genius. Whoever came up with this idea, give them a raise. Because that was hysterical. And so then I had
one of the rising authors that I got to, we were giving out the tiny little individual Neutrogena face wipe things.
Oh, I got one of those too.
Did you get one of those?
Yes, and I also got an eye mask.
Oh yeah, I wanted to grab one of those and I didn't. I didn't grab either one of those because I knew I was totally out of space and over my weight limit at that point. But it was really cool.
I will admit I did go a little bit crazy. Again, I was fortunate enough to be driving myself.
So that the one that was giving out the Neutrogena packs, that person was left out of the RTD signing book. Their name is not. They don't have a page.
I didn't know that. Oh my god, that's so heartbreaking.
Yeah,
I didn't even have an autograph book because I was not about to spend. What was it? How much was it? Like $15
or 20? Yeah, I purchased one of those, and they said they didn't have confirmation of me purchasing it, and I couldn't find it while I was standing there, and so I didn't get my autograph book.
Yeah, and apparently if you filled it out completely, you could get put into a drawing to win 2025 tickets.
Yeah, hell no.
Yeah, there's no way that you were going to be able to get signatures from every single author unless you stuck them to their hotel rooms, basically.
Mm-hmm. Oh, speaking of which, did you know Daisy Jane was selling books out of her hotel room?
I did hear about that, which, yeah, you want to talk about Rebecca Yarros being considered a security risk because of her following, which, by the way, all of the Rebecca Yarros fans I met were extremely nice to me. One even offered me her book before she realized that she had, in fact, gotten it personalized, and she was like, wait, I'm so sorry, it's personalized and I would prefer to keep it. I was like, cool, okay, whatever. Like, she was willing to give me the signed book.
That was so kind.
Like, and like, but no, I did hear about that.
And she gave out her room number. I was so concerned for her.
Me too, because
it turned out okay, but still.
I'm very glad that it turned out okay as well. But like that could have been like so fucking dangerous because again, the lack of security, like it may not have been I don't remember if the attendee or if any of the Facebook groups were private or not, but it wouldn't be hard to just like fake having you have a ticket just to like get access to people's room numbers. Yeah. And there are people on the internet that would do that.
Yeah.
Because people are creepy and they are
predators.
Terrible people.
Yeah. There was what was I gonna say? Nope, I lost it. I'll come back to it. Go ahead, show me your pile some more.
Yeah, that's like insane though that like the authors like felt like they needed to put their safety at risk for the sake of getting people's books signed. And first of all, I commend them for doing that. Second of all,
It's very kind of them.
It's very kind of them. But also authors in the future, if like for whatever reason I am in a signing line for you and I don't get to you and you just like I will not be showing up at your hotel room even if you give me the room number, because I'm like, nope, that is your space to be very, very far away from my chaotic ass. Because as much as authors love their readers, most of them are introverts. So the idea of just being bombarded 24/7 with people trying to talk to you, like, no thanks.
I didn't want to, like, it sounded, I know she gave out her room, so she knew going into it what it was, but like going into her personal space, like that's her space. That felt weird to me.
Yeah.
There's an author reader boundary that I feel like I wasn't going to, even though she had offered to cross that boundary with people, I was like, I'm not crossing that boundary with you. Like, I need to remain the reader here.
And by the way, I'm not judging people who did decide to go to her.
Oh, no. I'm
not saying you are either. I'm just saying, like, I do want to put out that, like, if you were one of the readers that did go to her room to meet her and get things signed.
Yeah, that's totally fine. She gave you her number.
She put that information out there for you to do that.
Yeah, so you could get your book signed, so you could meet her. It was so kind of all of the authors who went out of their way to accommodate people who couldn't get their book signed.
Exactly. Like with Tracy Wolf, I was in line to meet her. I was number 263. They were never going to get to me. They were never
going to get to you. There's no way. Especially, I was behind. I apologize. If this person is here. I was behind a person who had 12 books signed and talked to Tracy for like 10 minutes. Please, readers, be respectful of other people in line behind you.
Wasn't there supposed to be a limit of you can only get 5 things signed at a time? And then if you had more, you would get back
in line. That person did not. And they took a really long time. And I just feel like you need to be considerate of all 3,000 other people that are there. Like, I get it. You're excited to meet this author, but everybody else is too.
And this was my second time meeting Tracy Wolf. And so when my number didn't called, I was like, okay, yeah, it sucks because I have a couple of books from her that I didn't get signed.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, it sucks that I wouldn't be able to see her again. But she was one of the few authors that did that surprise pop-up signing. And I ran into her in the hallway when I was trying to I don't remember what I was doing. I think I was trying to find the Juniper room to go to I was like carrying my stuff to put in the book storage room, like the stuff that I had been carrying into the book storage room with my other stuff. And I saw her sitting at a table, and my intent was to just walk up and be like, hey, don't know if you remember me. We met quite a while ago on your charm tour. But I just wanted to say hi. I really appreciated your books. I didn't get a chance to come see you when you were doing your official signing. Like, she and her team were sitting there, and I was fully expecting to just like say hi, leave, and like let her do her thing, because I was like, you are probably exhausted. And I'm not about to like start like asking for this. But she was nice enough to be like, yeah, if you, like she said, I've been standing for a long time, so if you're okay with me sitting, I'll watch your stuff, because I didn't have her books on me, because I put them back in the book storage room when I realized I wasn't going to see her, because of
exactly. When you carry these around, I'm not going to see you.
But she was like, because she was in that lower level before, like outside of the Adams rooms.
Okay, yeah.
The Cottonwood areas.
Okay.
So, and she was like, go get your books and I will sign them for you. And like, she was kind enough to do that for me. And
that's amazing.
I did not expect that. I just literally my expectation going into that specific interaction was, hi, I've met you before. It's really nice to meet you again. Okay, bye. And she was like, go get your books. We'll take a picture. We'll chat a little bit. And
That's so nice. Oh my gosh. I
Like-
love that. So many authors went so far out of their way to accommodate the readers, and they shouldn't have had to, but they were so awesome.
Like,
I have a list of all the people. I made a list of all the people that I heard of that went out of their way outside of the signing time to come and see people who
even the authors who were in the signings, I had several authors. Like, even if I was just standing next to their table for a quick second to catch my breath, because with the tables, like, yes, there were a lot of people, but there were also a good amount of just empty tables.
Yeah, there were a lot of authors who had nobody at them, and that blew my
And
mind.
I'm talking about empty tables, period. There was
there was a lot of that too.
There was I don't know if they were people were supposed to be there and they had to back out for whatever reason, but
yeah, there's a lot of people that I know had to not be there, were gone, canceled at the last minute. So there was a lot of that.
And for the people that canceled at the last minute, you
you made a great choice for doing whatever else you were doing.
You didn't just dodge a bullet, you dodged a nuclear bomb.
Somebody probably went and had an appendectomy or something emergency like that, and they're like, I'm so glad that my appendix erupted. I
would much rather have had to go undergo I would have rather had to deal. Have you ever had a spinal tap, where they remove the spinal fluid?
So I have not, but I had a problem when they were doing my my epidural with my kids. So I don't know if that's even close, but they had to poke me 5 times and it sucked.
Being poked in the back like that sucks. But when you do a spinal tap, they're taking your spinal fluid, which is a lot of what is in your brain, protecting your brain from the skull.
Yes.
I had to get that removed. The headaches, I would have rather dealt with one of those headaches again than deal with the shit that than deal with 90% of the event. Because again, people I met, great, fantastic. Volunteers I met, great, fantastic. Most of the volunteers I worked with, or I met, great, fantastic. PAs I met, great. But that's genuinely, had I not met people that I enjoyed hanging out with and talking to, I definitely would have left. I would have met Krista, said, hi, thank you for the ticket, and then left. And I would not have come back, because the only reason I came back was because the people I interacted with were nice.
Yeah. I met the greatest people there. So besides all this garbage that went on, I really had an amazing time. And I wish that the garbage wouldn't have happened, because I met these authors that I had been watching online for months and months. The ones that I've been messaging, I met Alethea Faust. I
read one of her books just before the event, and
the Sex Wizards one.
No, it was the lesbian bear shifter one.
Oh yes.
Blew me away. I was like, what? It was fantastic.
Such a good
for an hour. And
such an amazing author.
And I discovered so many authors that I had never ever heard of.
Yeah.
And I even won a giveaway for an author that I never heard of. I entered the giveaway. It was free. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna win, but I may as well, put in my information. See, I won that giveaway. I literally walked away from the table, and 10 minutes later, I got a text message saying, by the way, you won this giveaway.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
It wasn't even a small giveaway either. I have some of the prizes. I don't have all of the prizes because they're mixed in with shit. But this was one of the big prizes. It's one of those mini picture printers.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh my gosh.
Plus 2 packs of refills.
That's $200 of stuff right there.
Exactly. Not to mention,
that's a lot of money.
She gave me a couple of her books.
I love that.
A tumbler, and the author, by the way, who was kind enough to do this giveaway and that I won from, I want to is Natasha Rawlerson. Don't know if you've read anything from her or have heard of her.
Okay, so my thing is like I usually have to see a book cover or like I usually have to see a book cover just to remember if I've
these ones. Like here, this is I think these are the ones
Okay, hold on. So I made this spreadsheet. Hello. Try again. There we go. I made this spreadsheet of all the authors because I'm a little bit neurotic like that. And let me show you what this, I don't know if this will even work to show you my phone. I made a list of who I read and who I wanted to meet. So here, it's going to show good. Okay, so these are the people that I've read in green, and the red ones are the ones that I didn't read. And then I wrote like the list of the books that I've heard of before or that I wanted to read. And then over here are the people that I wanted to meet. And I put all of this onto a spreadsheet. And then I also made like notes over here. Oh, sorry, it's backwards, so it takes me a little. I put notes over here about like, I don't know, like this person right here, she narrated a book that my friend wrote. And so I wanted to like talk to her. I never had a chance to, but like, she narrated a book that my friend wrote.
Yeah.
So anyway, so okay, so tell me the name of that author again. And I'm going to look it up on my little spreadsheet.
Natasha Rawlerson, Natasha.
Okay, I found her. 11 Pieces. I don't have her, but it says that she wrote a book in the she wrote a short story that was in the Purple Descent book. So
I did not get that.
I know I didn't either. I wanted that one so bad.
All I know is that I don't know if this is a wide choose romance, but either way, like she just like gave me these 3 books. Like
it's amazing. I love it.
To mention, there were a couple of handmade items. Like, let me grab them because they're too cool not to share. Like, yes, okay. Like bookmarks and other swag. But
so if there's any authors watching right now, us readers, we really love signed books. So you can give us the really cool printers, and you can give us all. Oh, I did go to that author's table. I saw that doll.
Yeah, you saw the doll?
Yeah, and she asked me if I wanted to enter the giveaway, and I said, I'd love to, but I honestly don't have space for this. I would love to, but I think somebody else would appreciate this more than me that could have space for this.
I do have space. And
I love it. I love it. I'm so glad you won it, because I was like, this is so cool.
Like, dude, I almost started crying in the middle of the convention because I was just like, oh my God, I won something.
Oh my gosh.
Look at this. It's
so cute. I touched his hair. That little guy's hair. I picked him up and I hugged him and I was like, this is the cutest thing ever.
This looks like it's crochet, therefore somebody handmade this.
Yeah.
Crochet, like handmade crochet shit is not cheap. And it should not be cheap because
it takes forever.
And crocheted stuff cannot be machine made.
Yeah.
Like, so, if shit's crocheted, make sure you're getting it from reputable places. But yeah, like someone took the time to make this doll.
It's so cute.
And it's now in my house.
Whatever. It's adorable.
This adorable doll is going to live on my bookshelf for the rest of its life.
I love it.
Who live on this bookshelf, and I love him for it.
You'll will it to your grandchildren, and they'll be like, "What is this creepy doll?"
Also, no, I want to be buried with them.
You want to be buried with it? I have a lot of things that I want to be buried with. I'm going to need like the extra large casket.
Yeah, I've accepted that. But like, I think Natasha said their name was that this doll was named Nikki.
Okay.
I do not know if that is a reference to one of their books. If it is, I will gladly find out because look at
we
this.
need to get Nikki in here to tell us.
And so many people are like, some people were like, "Oh my gosh, it's kind of creepy." I'm like, "I know it, isn't it? I love it.
It's awesome.
I love the little. I love it so much.
It's the best.
Like for me, it's like, yes, I love the signed books. I really do. But it's little stuff like this that gets me as swag for what authors give. Like,
yeah,
no other author I have interacted with would think of something or has thought of to do like a freaking like tiny like crochet doll as swag. Like, this is the first time I'm seeing this, and I'm like, look at him.
Look at him. I love the unique stuff that some of the authors come up with, because the stickers are great, but some of them are just, they're generic and they don't even have the author's brand name on them. So
Yeah,
I'm like,
I got a squishy hockey puck.
I got like 6 of those because I read all the hockey books, so I saw all the hockey authors. So I have like 6 different hockey books.
Yeah,
I love
and
them.
this was also part of the giveaway. It is
a tumbler. That's so cool.
Yeah, so this is like the front. This is the back.
That's so cool.
This is also handmade. I have not used it yet. I'm terrified to use it because I am extremely clumsy. So I'm like, should I just like use this as a display piece or what, or actually use it? I'm still debating on that.
You could use it. Those things are really durable. They're really durable,
but
even if you're really clumsy.
Like,
okay. So speaking of swag from authors, so I went to Harlow Ray's booth, and she had. Did you go to Harlow Ray's booth?
I don't think so.
Okay, she had these wine bottles that were shaped like peens, and it was the greatest thing ever. So and she brought them to.
Stopped by because it was like if you bought something, I think you got to take a shot.
So that's that. So Harlow took them to Jody's Desk of the Rising Stars. Yes. So that's exactly what it was. Yeah. So Harlow had them at Jody's table. But when I was at Harlow's booth, I said, "This is so cool." And you know how you have sticky notes that you put in your book so the author has your name and note like what page to sign on? Yes. So I like took my sticky note and I slapped it on the side of the peen, and I was like, "Dibs." And she was like laughing at me, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm really serious. Like, dibs on this." And I went over to Jody's table, and they had only drank like half of it at that point. And she's like, "I'm saving this for you. You should just come back." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll come back. I'll go circle around. No big deal." But by the time I came back, she had a bunch of authors who had walked by and taken little shots. She had all the authors sign the peen. So that's
cool.
I have this peen that is signed by a bunch of authors. And then I carried it around like a baby and had other authors sign it too, because it was kind of funny. I was like, "I want to sign my peen."
I saw quite a few people with various peen objects being signed. Like, there was a couple people with like a stuffed ant, like a stuffed peen that I saw. That was pretty funny.
Did you see the crocheted chapstick holder that you like pull you had to buy them, but like you pull the lid off the chapstick holder and you pull the chapstick out of it?
No, I didn't.
I wish I had purchased it because it was genius. I am regretting not purchasing that.
Yeah, I got a surprising amount of chapstick though. Like,
I know, me too. Which is good because like I'm all like, especially this time of year, like this is my chapstick. This is my chubby buddy.
Oh yeah. I have so many chapsticks and stuff. It's like not even funny.
I have them laying around everywhere, and lotions too. I'm always putting lotion. My hands are always this red color. It gets ridiculous.
Yeah. Pre-order this series on Amazon. It's just like it's like a bunch of stuff like that. So.
Oh, let's talk about the chapstick /lotion/water thing.
Oh, the lack thereof.
Yeah. Yeah, when they told everybody on the Readers Take Denver page 1,000 times to drink water, and we'll have water for you. Like, yeah, like carry your water around, make sure you're drinking water. We don't want anyone to get sick or dehydrated. You know, the altitude sickness is real. We're high up. Don't get dehydrated or chapped or whatever. We'll have tons of water. And then there was like one water dispenser that was empty all the time.
And apparently Kelly said that there were more, but the places were so crowded that nobody could find them. And that doesn't surprise me.
If there were, I didn't see any of them.
Yeah, that's
I know that there was one in Aurora 2 and one in Aurora 1. I passed 2 of them. I didn't see the ones in the Adams rooms.
I don't think they had them in the Adams rooms.
Which is nuts. Like, if they didn't, that's absolutely batty to me.
Well, the authors didn't get water bottles. You didn't know that?
I didn't know they didn't. I heard that they didn't get anything, but I didn't know.
They did not get water provided for them or food vouchers. Hence why Emily Rath did the whole Trash Panda thing.
Oh, I didn't see the Trash Panda thing. Where's that at? I'm gonna go find it.
If you go on her Threads page, she talks about it. I can pull it up.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go look at it. I love Emily. I met her last year at Steamy Lit, and she was an absolute delight.
Speaking of Emily, I didn't get a chance to have Emily sign my stuff. But I had a very pleasant experience. So registration day, I was sitting with like a group of girls that we had been talking online in a separate group chat for like local girls who had been like talking and stuff. And we went to a couch. We were sitting on a couch because we heard that Emily was around the Starbucks, and we, being little weirdos,
you're gonna stalk that couch until she shows up.
But she was already there when we got there, and there weren't like enough seats on the couch. So I literally sat on the floor, and I was talking. I kind of for a brief moment, she was like in her own world, doing her own thing. She was on a computer. I wasn't about to bother her because I was like, she could be working on something or whatever. Like I'm not about to like interrupt I'm not about to throw off the Emperor's Groove,
Oh my gosh, I love that. So you threw off the Emperor's Groove.
So I was sitting and chatting with my friends, and I kind of like forgotten that Emily was there just because like she hadn't said anything, and I was in a conversation with other friends, and I mentioned her name, and her assistant was also in the conversation with us and talking to us, and she introduced herself, and then she was like, also, you can talk to Emily, you know that, right? And I'm like, I was like, huh?
She looks busy.
I was like, she looks very busy. But she like without like any like prompting from the rest of us, like she like closed her laptop and just was talking to us.
Wow.
And I did get a picture with her there. I didn't have my books with me because I wasn't expecting to find
her Starbucks. It's Thursday. It's not author time.
Yeah, but like the fact that I ran into her just in that casual setting before kind of shit hit the fan, I'm very thankful that was the case, and that I did get a chance to meet her and her assistant, by the way, who is one of the sweetest human beings I've ever met. And the fact that Emily says that she saw somebody make her assistant cry, not once, but I possibly twice.
Yeah.
That makes me so angry because literally her assistant, I'm blanking on her name right now. I need to find it so that I can actually
be friends with
her out, like shout her out by name, because she was nothing but extremely kind. Scrolling. Nope, it would be in the replies. Scrolling to Emily Rath. I've literally been like scrolling.
I know. There's so much out there.
Let me
I think it's absolutely ridiculous how much fuckery took place.
The amount of fuckery was insane. Trying to find Emily's post. It'll be easier for me to just grab this way. Oops. Also, I saw. Why am I not following Emily Rath on? I could have sworn that I was following Emily Rath on Threads. That's annoying. Oh, see, even Emily Rath is on the I Survived RTD 2024 train, because in case anyone was wondering, this was the fan art that someone drew of Emily eating gluten-free pasta over a trash can.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
What? That's the second book in the series, my dude. I just want you to know that. Somebody was like, oh, I'm going to go buy your books. And I was like, Okay, here's what I said. I said, I was lucky enough to meet you in the lobby of the hotel, and I'm very grateful that I got to see you there, at least because there was no way I was going to be able to get all the people I wanted to see and get stuff signed. If for whatever reason I go next year, I will not be bringing books for people to sign. The storage situation was so horrendous for readers. I'm very grateful that nothing of mine was stolen, but people were taking things from others left and right. So not cool. And Emily responded, I'm so sorry to hear that readers felt so unsafe, violated, and misled. I'm focusing on the joy of meeting the readers brought me. I said, I also want to say that your assistant was such a sweetheart. I remember her introducing us when we were all sitting behind the Starbucks, and I was way too nervous to start a conversation. She is 100% someone I'd want to be friends with, and I'm very sorry that she had a crappy experience in Denver. Does she have any social media I can reach out to her on? And she responded to my thread, was like, hi, I'm Emily's PA. It was nice meeting you. And her name is Rachel Bellamy. We have so many Rachels in the I Survived RTD group chat, though, so I don't know if she's in that chat. But if she is, I just
can you search for people that are in there?
I think so, yeah.
But I know I've never before this weekend. I've never ever used WhatsApp. Not in this capacity. And there's no Rachel Bellamy in that group.
Okay, well, either way,
or just in the tea room. I only looked in the tea room.
Yeah,
so I can't guarantee anywhere else.
Rachel, if you happen to be watching this, again,
our tiny little midnight chat,
tiny little area. If you happen to be watching this or watching this back, or somebody sends this to you, I want you to know I had a blast meeting you. I had no idea that you're also an author, by the way. I don't know if you have anything published.
Yeah, that name sounds super familiar.
I feel like
good read.
I feel like she does. If she, yeah, I feel like she should.
Well, I'm looking now. Okay, how do you spell her first name?
It's so her handle is RMBELLAMY author. I am trying to figure out, do you have an Instagram, madam? You do have an Instagram. I'm following your Instagram. Oh, she does contemporary romance.
Ooh.
Okay, it doesn't look like she has anything published, which is A-okay. That just means I get to go crazy when you drop your debut if you haven't already, which, like, I'm hyped for. I love it when
you love when you get to be there for their up and coming
to go feral for like debut authors or like authors that only have a couple books published, because I get to be one of those elitist assholes that says, I was here before all of you.
I was here at the beginning. I loved this at the beginning. I've been around.
Yes. And
okay, so if you want to do that, so I wrote a book with my co-author.
Yes.
And we just published that back in December.
Really? Hold on.
Yes.
Where's my Amazon app? What is the title?
So the easiest way to find the book is to look up Rebecca Massey, Massey.
Is it R-E?
Rebecca.
M-A-S Massey.
Uh-huh.
What?
And the book is called Frosted.
Oh my God, oh my God, I saw people online talking about this.
No, you did not.
The Spicy Snowman book. I think I have heard people talking about this. This is amazing. Okay, hold on. I need to after this weekend, I need to subscribe to Kindle Unlimited because there's like so many authors that I'm like, I must read. And they're like, I'm on Kindle Unlimited. And I'm like, I canceled my subscription. So I'm going to have to sacrifice something else in order to do that.
So usually around the time that they do the, when they do all the free books, what is that? Stuff Your Kindle. So our book is not eligible for Stuff Your Kindle because we're like 8 pages short because they have their threshold, which makes sense because you don't want to have like books that are like 22 pages long and Stuff Your Kindle. Like I get that, but we're like super, super close. And if like we make our font bigger, we could be anyways. But usually around the same time we put one of our books because we have a second book out and we're working on our third. So we usually make one of our books for free at that time. So if you keep an eye on us,
or I will 100% be keeping.
If I remember to tell you, I've got a bunch of people I gotta remember.
Oh, that's book 2. That's awesome.
Yeah, that one came out in March.
It's Easter Bunny.
It's about an Easter bunny. Well, not like the Easter bunny. It's more about an Easter bunny costume, but still, it's pretty fun.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. I absolutely love unhinged books, like completely unhinged. Like, I think one of the books I have on my Kindle is, I think it's like called like Squeak or something.
Oh, and, yeah, by Vera Valentine. Yes.
Yeah, the balloon
sisters. Yes. That is such a fantastic book. Like, Vera is a genius. She is so smart.
So good at what she does. Of unhinged smut books that have been coming out lately, I am living for. Like, there's one like with a door, I think.
Yeah, that's also by Vera Valentine. She's the same author.
I'm gonna have to read like all of her stuff and be like,
yes, do it. Her stuff is so good. It is so good. I love Vera.
The more unhinged things are, the better. Because like, here's the thing: things can be unhinged in an extremely dark romance way, and I love that. But things can also be unhinged in a sexy snowman way, and
in a comical way.
All here for it. I'm like, wonderful. Like, I think that's part of the reason I really enjoyed the smut community, is because, like, especially as I've gotten older, because I'm 23 now. I apologize, making anybody who's watching this if I made you feel old by saying that I am 23 years old.
It's fine.
But no, I say that sometimes to my friends who are older, and they're like, "Stop me," or I'll like ask them a question. They're like, "Oh my God, why are you making me feel like I'm elderly?" I'm like, "Listen, Sam, it's not my fault, okay?" But regardless, like the smut has really changed the reading game for me, because like I've always loved to read, and that's like been like, it's been like a like you can see my book.
That's what my place looks like too. Okay. I have like piles of books.
Oh, they're double stacked too.
Yes, they're double stacked. I don't know where to put these.
More bookshelves. I don't know where I'm going to put these either.
I don't have a book problem. I have a bookshelf problem.
You and me both. So Also, I saw people who walked away from the event only having like 10 books. I'm like, how did you
do that? What self-control do you possess? Please teach me your ways.
Right? Like,
I brought 50 books. We started out here unhinged.
It just kept getting more and more. Like, I said this in my other live, but I was, shout out to Emma and Courtney if you're watching this either now or watching it later. But between the two of them, they had close to 200 books that they had to take back with them to Texas.
Oh my gosh. I had a woman in the FedEx line. She had 150 that she was trying to stuff in these little boxes because they had run out of the big boxes. It made me laugh so hard. I was like, you poor thing.
No, it got to the point where like they were trying to pack up their stuff. And I made an offhanded comment like, oh, just ship your clothes home. And I think they might have actually done that.
Well, but then you have like overweight handling fees too on like an airplane.
Yeah, but it's like, is it cheaper to do the overweight handling fees and ship your lighter clothes home, or to pay the shipping fees to send a bunch of heavy shit home?
I don't know. I guess you'd have to see what the overweight handling fees are and then have a scale and just
Yes.
But I sent an extra large box back, and
when are you supposed to get that?
What?
When are you supposed to get the box?
I don't know. Maybe I should know. I have a little receipt.
I would look into that because hey, we had boxes of books go missing at the actual event. Who's to say that
these ones won't go missing too?
Yeah.
Which,
yeah, I said this in my other live. If you were the person, if you were one of the people that was like, for the Passionflix thing, I genuinely understand that was a mistake. Like, there was no signage indicating that stuff was for sale. And the person had gotten up to go, to the bathroom, and they were a large, sponsor of the event. So, I'm not like saying like the people who did take stuff from like the Passionflix, I'm not like judging them, because in theory, I probably would have thought they were free as well. And when I went up to them when somebody was sitting there, I did think it was free, and I did ask them about it. But and also the way that WhatsApp message was like worded for that, like it made it seem like people were like, it made it seem like it was intentional to like make people feel bad, instead of being like, hey, I know it was like, I know it was an accident and there was some confusion about whether or not these items would be free. They weren't. So if you could just like return them, that'd be great. Because
on the other hand, though, there was a lot of shit that went missing. People lost.
And I'm not saying that like every instance of things going missing was like that. That is just the instance of
the Passionflix one.
That specific event happening, and but that is also where security would have come in handy.
What? Having security at an event with 3,000 readers?
Or
what an idea!
Tables were staffed with at least more than one person at a time, to, even if it was just like volunteers who had comprehensive training on like, okay, so this person is going to the bathroom, and this is what their prices are. This is how you take the money. Or if you don't feel comfortable doing that, you can literally just say, hey, I'm just here to make sure that everything goes smoothly. They'll be back in a couple of minutes, and they'll be more than happy to help you out with order, question, whatever, what have you.
Yeah, if you want to buy something, you need to wait 5 minutes until this author gets done with their break, because they're human and they have kidneys that are working.
Exactly. So it's like,
Plus we're in Colorado, and they told everybody to keep drinking. So we have all been there with our 44-ounce cups, drinking down like crazy.
Yeah, and even as someone who's like local, I'm used to this altitude. I'm used to like this like climate and dryness and shit like that.
Right.
Like they're like, it's just one of those things that I have.
Yeah.
So even I was like, there is not enough water here. And like there was no like indications of where like water fountains were to be like
There was no signage.
And I was like, I'm thankful that like it wasn't any hotter. In like if we had been in a smaller event center and we had that many people and it had been warmer,
June,
we would have had people dropping like flies, like from heat exhaustion.
Yeah, they would have had that IV station. They would have had to start giving that out for free.
Yeah. Also, $200 for that when authors were asked to sponsor that. And like, from my understanding, the base price for authors was, I think, $450 to just get a table, in theory, because a lot of authors didn't even get their tables. They had to hunt for one themselves, but just like it was honestly like in the grand scheme of things, the general experience of Reader's Take Denver was that people had a decent enough time to not leave in the middle of it, and that the people who were like 99% of the people that were at the event, that were actually at the event to be at the event as like a reader and like not as like just someone trying to get like clout or people who were there to just get special edition signs so that they can upcharge them for however fucking much they do that shit for.
Yeah, 200% more.
Those people were nice and were great to interact with, and I'm very happy that I got to like meet and talk to them. But it's not even just like it wasn't even just like little things adding up. It was like the bad things that happened weren't just like, oh, again, it wasn't just, oh, this was a big convention, you know, shit hit the fan. This is becoming a safety concern for people. Yeah. And it's becoming inaccessible for people who are there. Like, again, I am somebody with an invisible disability. Like, we have suspected that I've had Ehlers-Danlos, that's the diagnosis we've been working towards. And I got the official diagnosis this morning, like I said. But there were like no places for people to just like sit
down. There was no chairs extra
to take like a break. And I'm not saying like every room needed to have like a lavish like couch or something, but like even just like a couple of chairs
against the wall
sporadically throughout would have made such a huge difference. And also probably not going when the Gaylord was having a ton of construction. And I think what they should have done was not blocked off so many rooms and use the money. Because here's the thing, they only used two of the big ballrooms. They did not use the third one. And with the amount of money that people paid in tickets alone, should have been able to at least partially cover having all three of the ballrooms.
So let's talk about the construction thing for a second from an ADA standpoint. Yes. There was an entire section of the hotel that if you cannot use an escalator, you could not access. It included, and I'm not sure exactly what it included, but I know it included the arcade, and there were other things down there that we could not access. So when you walk into the registration, you know that how you had that big black construction thing, and you walk to the right, and there was the registration desk. But if you walk to the left, there was escalators that went down.
Yes.
So if you went down those escalators, that whole area could not be accessed by anyone who couldn't use an escalator.
That's right, because even the elevators didn't like...
The elevators don't go down to that. The elevators went right into the construction zone, so you can't get to that area.
So that was definitely... I think that was I think that was a little bit on both the event and the Gaylord's side of thing, because as somebody who works in a hotel, and I have a fair amount of experience interacting with guests who use mobility aids. And again, my mom, my mom used a mobility aid for like most of the time in my childhood. Like before she passed away, she was in a wheelchair for like the last 2 years of her life. So like I understand like how frustrating it is to not be able to do certain things. And as somebody who works in a hotel, it is so frustrating that like the hotel wasn't able to come up with any sort of way to accommodate
additional needs.
And I'm not saying like they needed to, like, speaking of catering needs, I saw an author that said they had a sign on their table that said no flash photography, epileptic. I don't know if the photographers did not see it, but there were several times in that room where people were taking photos with flash. That was also something I noticed as well, was that there was flash photography going on, even though I don't want to say that like people were just blatantly ignoring, because again, shit was so crowded you couldn't see anything. So it's entirely possible that the person who was taking pictures for the event wasn't even able to see that sign. And I'm hoping that, I don't remember which author it was, because there were so many people that my brain has just kind of like blocked everything out. I am hoping that nothing happened regarding anyone having like an epileptic seizure or anything like that, because I know that shit has got to be scary, especially like in a public event where, God forbid, emergency services like EMTs were needed. They wouldn't have been able to get in.
Where did you even see like a sign for first aid or EMT or emergency services? Did you see anybody on staff that said that they were emergency services?
I think I maybe saw an emergency services person once, and that was after the welcome party. And there one author, I don't remember which one it was, it was using a wheelchair and needed to be wheeled out or to their room.
There was no.
That is the only time I ever saw medical personnel that wasn't like an attendee who happened to work in the medical field. Because, like, as somebody with Ehlers-Danlos and possibly POTS, still working on that diagnosis, like, if God forbid somebody had fainted, or if because like when you have that many people, things like stampedes, like, people saw what happened at the I think it was Travis Scott's concert, with that many people pushing it. People literally died because it was inaccessible and there were too many people in a crowded place. I am very, very thankful that, as far as I'm aware, nobody was injured because of the amount of people that were there. But had something like that happened, where the fuck were emergency services going to be able to get their equipment through?
Right.
Like, there would have been nowhere for us to go if we were around the person that had gotten injured.
Right. Where would we have gone? Like, step aside. Where?
Like, we would have, like, to be honest, we would have had to, like, literally we would have had to stand on each other, stand and sit on authors' tables with all their stuff everywhere. Like, there was, like, no way for, and especially if, like, if an emergency happened in there, like, something, I'm not going to go, like, into super dark stuff, but, like, say there was, like, a fire or something that broke out in there.
Mm-hmm. And we're talking about books. Like, that's entirely possible. We have a lot of paper
in flames fast. Like,
this could all go up in flames.
Like, Fahrenheit 451, anybody? Like, no, it's just like thinking of, like, and I'm the type of person that's like, I tend to think worst case scenario, and obviously I'm not gonna like talk about the worst case scenario because
Right.
I do try to tend to keep things lighter here with my chaos. But just like, yeah, if something like even like a small fire had broken out, like that would have caused a mass fucking panic, which would have caused injuries. It would have been harder for it's possible that it wouldn't have even gotten noticed for a long time because there were just people everywhere. And like,
it's so insane to think of the things that could have. I mean, it's just not even worth thinking of the things that could have happened because all the things that did happen were still
exactly
were still beyond my comprehension.
Like the whole thing was just was a fucking clusterfuck of just.
I in my live earlier today, I put out a prediction that you know how they said that you can refund your tickets for 2025 up until 90 days before?
180.
180 days before?
Yes.
Oh, whatever it is. I'm guessing that within the next week they're going to close that window and say no more refunds.
I'm pretty sure that they're going to try and do that, but then people are just going to dispute with their credit card companies.
Yeah, and definitely.
But speaking of which, people get proof of their refund policy, like screenshot that shit now before they decide to change it.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to do that for the sake of everybody else.
Yeah, let's do that right now. Let's go screenshot that right now.
No, I'm not letting anybody else get taken advantage of. So hold on.
Yeah, where is that even listed? I don't even remember where they put that.
Denver. 300 day 20. Get your 2025 tickets. Let's see. Also, most of these authors you say are coming are not actually coming. A lot of them have pulled the fuck out.
Well, did you hear that a bunch of the authors were put on that list and they didn't even agree to come?
Yeah. Oh my God. They haven't even dropped. So you know when you were able to pre-buy tickets for 2024, how they were $300?
Yeah.
They are starting at $375 for 2025.
Ridiculous.
Actually insane. Hold on. I'm just interested in these.
I'm looking also.
I'm trying to where our charity. Oh, this will be interesting. Julie's Friends.
Does she still have friends?
I don't even know. I hope their cat is okay. I'm not saying that she does anything to that anyone does anything. Sending authors, blah, 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 blah. So let's see.
I know I saw it listed somewhere, so
it says as of July 9th, 2023, Readers Take Denver is sold out of tickets. I got my ticket 2 weeks before the event.
From Readers Take Denver? Like directly from their website?
No, from the author. But a lot of people said that they didn't get their tickets until about 2 weeks before.
Interesting.
So, yeah. I don't. 2024 frequently asked questions. Why the fuck did it? Let's see. Oh, okay, let me see. Let's just pretend that I'm going and maybe sure, I'll say we'll do one convention pass. Sure. No, I don't want to donate to your shitty organization. How would you classify yourself? Currently pissed off. I'm just do other.
Are you allowed to type in your response?
Yeah, hold on.
I'm looking through my email to see if it came with my email.
Angry. My response was angry 2024. I'm not a publishing professional. Okay. To agree not to participate in any form of hate speech, malicious comments, or bullying.
No bullying. Don't bully anyone.
Says the bully.
Right?
Okay. Says beginning 180 days prior to the event, only a 75% refund will be offered. This is way before the 180 day window, by the way. So you should be able to arguably get your full refund. Actually, I'm gonna screenshotting that.
Can you send that to me because I don't have that?
Yeah, I can do that. 135 days prior to the event, only a 50% refund will be offered. 90 days prior and closer, there will be no refund offered. You also agree that if you are selecting a payment plan or delayed payment plan, you will be auto-charged on the payment method you pay with today. You will be charged on the first of the month for your payment plans. We reserve the right to cancel a ticket at any time with no explanation necessary at Readers Take Denver or on the Readers Take Denver socials or groups. I also understand that I am not guaranteed to see all or any one specific author at this time, but our team will do our very best to try to get you to see as many authors as possible. The $20 is non-refundable. Fees are non-refundable. Because I'm hoping somebody has like a copy of the original return policy, because I have both of those screenshotted. Excellent. And I'm actually going to be sending those in the WhatsApp chat and be like, in case anyone's curious.
In case anybody needs this. Perfect. That's funny about the not being able to see all the authors, because they definitely didn't make that claim last year. Or this for 2024. Or yeah. I still haven't received a response I sent him an email on Sunday about canceling my 2025 ticket.
There is a high possibility that you are not going to get a response, at least for a little while. So my suggestions are to hound them and then threaten to dispute it with your credit card company if they don't give you the
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. And I wonder if I can put
the full refund.
I wonder if I can put a stop payment. Because if they don't get back to me by the 1st, of course, because we're at April 22nd, another payment is going to come out. Can I put just a stop payment on one? I've never had to do that before, but I think I might contact my credit card.
You can, because I can do that for my auto payment of paying off some debt I owe to my school, because I have the ability to stop making auto payments. So I feel like you should be able to do that. But again, I am not a lawyer. I do not work in the finance field. So
yeah, well, I'm going to definitely contact my my credit card tomorrow and just let them know that they are not authorized to give money to this company.
Someone goes, I wonder if I'll get a response from Lisa about her screaming at someone on the phone. Probably not.
No. I'm guessing Lisa's not going to say anything more than, well, she might say more. She's chatty. She's got a lot to say.
Say more.
She says a lot of nothing, though.
I was going to say she might say words.
She has words coming out of her mouth.
But do those words mean anything? Probably not. But what are you? You're not even gonna offer me the TV stand? Okay, Dad. Sorry, I'm like scrolling. I was like gonna see if she had posted anything on her Facebook, but I saw my dad was selling some furniture. I'm like, you didn't even bother to ask me if I wanted the furniture first. Rude.
So you're looking on Lisa's page now? Is that what you're doing?
Let's see. Let's see. Oh, hello, dog. Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Okay, well, if you find anything, put it on the thing.
I will.
That made a lot of sense, but now we've been talking for like 3 hours, and I really do have to go. I have to go put my kids to bed. They have school tomorrow.
Yeah. Just give me like 2 seconds. Yeah. I don't even know what I'm agreeing to. Okay, Breeders' Cake Denver 2024 attendees. Let's see. What is being... Yeah, if you look at the Facebook page, by the way, I am mad.
What happened? Tell me what's going on.
Like this is just a stupid thing to be mad about. I did meet an author. Her name is Delancey Stewart, and it's hockey romance and or sports romance. And for one of her teams, their mascot is a fucking wombat, and I wanted one of the wombat plushies, but they were too expensive, and so I didn't get. She left wombat plushies around the Gaylord.
No!
And I'm like, I could have gotten a wombat for free.
That's so sad.
But
I think
like,
you should message her.
I hope the wombat went to a good home.
Ask her if she's got any left. Say, I really wanted one, but I didn't have the money for a wombat.
I told her that at the time, so I'm not worried to like. So I'll look at Lisa Renee Jones. See if she said any. Lisa Renee Jones Hassan. So apparently she just has her private Facebook open to people. That's fine. Let's see what she's been saying.
She playing the victim?
No, I'm just laughing at some of her posts from earlier.
Oh, she posted pictures of her dogs.
Those poor dogs. Not because I think she's abusing the dogs, just the fact that she exists.
She's like in the middle of this huge controversy and she's posting pictures of her dogs. I think that's weird.
On Instagram or Facebook?
On Facebook.
Okay. Oh, she said, anyone who can help stuff swag bags, we will be at the Aurora Hall 3 Wednesday afternoon and love you so much for it. Can't wait to see you all soon. Someone goes, hold on. I'm seeing if any more recent comments regarding the controversy, because supposedly she's been deleting comments, which wouldn't spread.
Yeah, I hope people are getting screenshots as they see them because stuff is disappearing left and right.
Oh yeah, if you see her say fuck shit, Like, screenshot, 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 screenshot. But also, I am trying to. Let's see. There's the classic FYI. Most of my staff has worked pretty 24/7 for the past week through today. They're working limited schedules the rest of the week, and many are up completely, so communication will be slower until at least Thursday. You might want to tell them to cancel their leave. Oh my god. She's turned off all the comments, by the way, for her posts.
Where is this at? Is this on Threads?
No, this is on the Facebook. This is on the attendees Facebook page. She also
the attendees Facebook page. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Comments for all posts or just that one post?
Any posts made by her, the comments do not exist.
Oh.
Or any posts or any by like actual Readers Take Denver. And it looks like the only posts that are being posted and like basically anytime Lisa posts something, she's being dragged on the internet, and it is my favorite fucking thing right now because I'm like, I've finally some controversy I can be a part of. Readers Take Denver, a dystopian tale. I'm gonna be up late tonight eating chocolate and scrolling through threads, which it's already late. It's almost midnight. So
yeah, it is. We're really close to midnight. I gotta get going for real.
Yeah,
it's a pleasure talking with you. Hopefully we can do this again.
Yes, I would love to talk to you more in general. Oh, and if you remember tomorrow, remind me. Actually, I'm gonna send you a link to Krista Sandor's Instagram. Or at least like to one of her posts.
Okay.
So that, if you want to check her out, you can, because she is awesome.
Okay.
And it's best, like, are you more of a dark romance or are you more of like a light rom-com romance person?
I listen to everything, like literally everything.
Oh, you're an audiobook listener?
Well, I mean, I read everything. Yes, I'm an audiobook listener. Like, I listen to everything, but if they don't have an audiobook,
they have
to listen to it.
Audiobook narrator for that. She is hilarious. I love her.
Excellent. I love audiobooks. I'll do audiobooks all day.
I will send you to the then that's just I sent you a link to her post. So yeah, follow her. She's hysterical and lovely. Meeting her was like probably one of the highlights of my entire weekend.
I'm glad you got to meet the author that you wanted to meet. That's awesome.
Holy shit, she's read 25 books.
Have you read 25 books from her?
I have not read all 25 of her books.
How can you call yourself an actual fan then?
Man. Straight up though, she like recognized me at the event. She's like, "Oh my gosh, it's Morgan! It's my girl Morgan!" And I'm like, "Oh my god, you actually!" I was freaking out.
I love that. I love that so much.
Not even like internally. I was like externally. I was like, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, you're a human. that like you're not just someone on a screen.
I love that so much. I love it when authors can recognize.
Yeah.
Their
well,
readers.
in a weird way, I'm glad she recognizes me because the amount of times I tag her in just shit online.
On the random stuff.
Well, like I said, most of my Instagram posts are just like dedicated to her books. Like, obviously, I have other stuff posted, but like, if you scroll, the majority of what you see is just Krista Sandor books. And I love it.
Yeah, if you look at my Instagram page, I am all about promoting new and up and coming authors or indie authors, smaller authors, rising star authors, as they have been called this weekend. Those are my favorite authors to read. I love people that just don't get enough attention, not because they're smaller authors or indie authors, but I genuinely think that there's a lot of people out there that are writing really incredible work that just never get recognized for their incredible work.
Exactly. And like that's part of why I was so adamant about getting as many business cards and bookmarks as I could, because I wanted the authors that were there, all of them, to know that even if I have never heard your name, I appreciate the fact that you took time out of your life and took, because I am a firm believer of, I don't know where this quote is from, but there's a quote that says something like, every time an author writes, they trade away a piece of their soul. Like, you are like, authors are like, when they write, they're giving us pieces of them. And I want all the authors there, except for Lisa, to know that that your work for this event, for just in general, for the things that you write, has not gone unnoticed.
Yes.
Like, especially like, again, like there are plenty of authors that I had never even heard of, but I got so many business cards and bookmarks from people that I'm like, holy cow, like I actively want to check this stuff out. Like,
yeah.
So like, even if I didn't have anything for people to, I also asked some authors to sign some weird things because I was not lugging around a second canvas all day. I asked authors to sign coasters, one of my bags actually, and stuff like that. But like, authors, I don't know if you're watching this now or are rewatching this, or somebody who is rewatching this for the Readers Take Denver tea, because I know that there are some of y'all out there, because I am one of those people. Just like let authors know that you appreciate what they are putting out into the world when they are sharing their books. And even if other people consider you small or rising stars, as they like to use that term, y'all worked hard to be where you're at, and what y'all do is so not easy, because I've thought about writing before, and I just, even thinking about it is so overwhelming. I cannot imagine what it is like to actually sit down and write an entire novel, or even a novella, or a short story. Like, anything you write makes you a writer or an author. So.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about that for a second. Did you go into the vendor room? You went in there, right?
I did, yes.
Did you see the gentleman that was selling the I guess they're called comic books, but they're really, in my opinion, they're not comic books, but they're not graphic novels. They're like this anyways.
Yes.
You see that guy?
I did, yes.
So he was told that he was not an author and that he needed to be in that, he needed to be in the vendor room. He could sell his books that he wrote and illustrated, but he was not an author and couldn't have an author table.
I'm sorry, what?
Right? Can you make that make sense?
No, because
No, it doesn't make sense. He wrote a story and then drew some pictures, and he's not an author?
he
doubled up his
only way I could see this even making a lick of sense is if they mistakenly, which obviously it wasn't a mistake because it was probably intentional, that they mistook him for the artist and not the creator of said
like the words in the book. Yeah.
But I this kind of ties into the whole debate of like things like, oh, are audiobooks considered reading, or like are certain things like valid? Which, by the way, that boils down to a whole ableist conversation because
yeah, definitely. All books are books.
All books are books.
Them.
It does not matter. My general rule for like my Goodreads goal, which I have sewn up and keeping up with, is that if it is on Goodreads, it counts.
And there's a lot of books that actually aren't on Goodreads, so they can count too.
Oh yeah, no, those count too.
Yeah.
I just want to build like people are like, oh, like this doesn't count towards a video. Like,
yeah, you listen to it; it doesn't count.
Don't be elitist with your shit because that just makes you look like an idiot and makes it look like you don't have any friends.
Yeah, I consumed these books the same as you did. They're in my brain the same as yours, so. Yeah.
Like I personally don't listen to a lot of audiobooks just because with my ADHD, it's hard for me to like focus on like.
Some people it just doesn't work for, and that's okay. It's totally fine.
Like ebooks and physical books, like I can do those, but I also know that some people are visually impaired, or some people who are like me and have ADHD are the type of people that can't sit down to read but can do like an audiobook or something like that. So
and there's people that are working all the time or have to commute for their job and want to consume books, so they just don't have time. The only way they can consume these books is by listening in their car, or they have young kids and they're constantly folding dirty laundry when they
and I also feel like people like talking about when it comes to like saying like, oh, like audiobooks aren't real reading. I feel like that does a really big disservice to the narrators of the audiobooks by putting them in this like other category, like from the reader space, people being like, oh, it feels like a whole you can't sit with us type deal. Like with narrators, feels like people are trying to like push them off onto their own island and be like, well, like you're technically not a writer or a reader, you're more of a voice actor. But then the voice actor community is like, well, yes, but also no. And so they just kind of get like tossed off to the side.
Yeah. And did you see that big old curtain that divided the voice narrators from the authors? Like, what is that about?
Like the narrators had tables?
Yeah. They had a whole section of narrators. You didn't go in there?
No, I was not aware that they had a whole section. I was under the impression that they were just wandering around.
Oh no, they had a whole section.
Oh my, this is why signage would have been helpful, because then I would have been able to go to the narrators and been like, oh, cool. I'll have to like no, that is so annoying.
So irritating, right? So irritating.
Because like
you could have gone to each of the tables and met everyone that was there in one spot. Instead of happening upon them.
Exactly. Like, I'm so disappointed in how this event played out.
And like all the special events, like those weren't in the program. How are you supposed to know when you were supposed to go to things and where they were at?
Promo Alley. That is something that I will talk about at probably a later date, because
we'll have to talk about that later.
Midnight, but
let's talk about Promo Alley next time.
Preliminary, I would say Promo Alley, just like the rest of the convention, it was a fucking shit show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna grab a snack, and I'm honestly probably just gonna crawl into bed. I have work off tomorrow, and I'm still trying to recover from the weekend because I did not get enough sleep at all.
I am with you. I am in so much physical pain from all the stuff that we did.
And also, like, why did you have events that go until 12:45, 1 in the morning, and then expect the signing, especially for day 2, the day 2 signings to start at 9 in the morning? What the hell?
Because they needed to stuff more bullshit into their schedule.
And I'm just like, I would have much rather have, like, honestly, there really shouldn't have been any after parties.
Or one. They could have done one ball on the last day.
That would, I feel like, would have been a lot better too. And not to mention, like, that panels were at the same time as signing, so people had to choose whether they were going to, like, they did the Rising Star authors so dirty with that, where they put panels at the same time as their signings.
We're gonna have to talk about this at a later date because I have a whole thing about that. I have a whole thing about that. So we're definitely going to have to talk later about that.
I will gladly continue to talk about the shit show that was Readers Take Denver.
Okay, let's get to something. Yes.
Because I have spent
way too long.
Almost 8 hours now talking about this damn event on the internet. At least in live shows. And that does not include the amount of time I've spent on the internet.
I know. I already did an hour and a half live earlier today going over every complaint that I had.
Oh, yeah. I need, like, this is how I'm, like, formulating my thoughts. I'm, like, talking to people and being like, yeah, I noticed that too. And, like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No. So 0 out of 10 would not recommend this event. If you are planning to go next year, don't.
I messaged a number of authors that I have an internet relationship with, people that I respect. And I said, the first thing I told him, I said, if you are considering still going to 2025, I would highly, highly suggest making sure that you know what your cancellation date is and the cancellation policy so that you are aware, especially going into this next week, learning what all went down. And I said, I can tell you all the things, but I want you to hear it from other people as well. But know what your cancellation date is.
That too. And I also know that for especially indie authors, I know that a lot of people have been saying that they've already paid for their spot and they're nervous about pulling out and having to take that as a loss, which I completely understand as somebody who struggles financially. I do not necessarily expect anybody to make a financial decision that's going to make them live in a box or something, but
right.
Definitely seriously consider if the loss of the $450 for that table is more than, in theory, what you could lose both emotionally, mentally, and what you could lose emotionally, physically, and financially.
And also, readers, some people are saying, I'm not going to respect anybody that goes to 2025. And I don't know if that's actually true, but
I don't know if that's completely fair also either, because again,
they paid money and they're stuck in a contract.
They paid money. Yeah, they paid money. They were stuck in a contract, and sometimes it costs more to get out of contracts than it is to just deal with it, do the bare fucking minimum. And any authors that are going because they're contractually obligated to go, I don't expect they're going to be doing much above and beyond shit, because authors tried to do above and beyond, and that things were stolen. They were one author's special edition pre-orders. This is the last thing I'm going to say.
There's so much.
They were just handed out as swag because nobody told the volunteer that was handed the books that those were pre-orders and that they had already been paid for by somebody else and that they were going to somebody else. And obviously, when you're in that situation, if I was handed one of those books and it was oh, by the way, sorry, that's not actually yours that I gave to you for free. I'd be, mad on the other person's behalf, but I also be pretty mad too, because I'd be like, oh, I just thought I got a free special edition book.
Yeah, this book is really cool. I was excited about this.
But no, it's just, yeah. RTD, Lisa, if you're watching this,
she never will.
Wreck yourself. You are now in the find out era of your fuck around moments. And yep, that's all I gotta say, because I'm just like, there's nothing else I can really say without repeating myself, as far as I am so disappointed with how this event was handled. I'm mad that this event left people with a bad taste in their mouth of Denver, because, like any major city, it has its problems, because duh, humans are humans, they're gonna human. But in general, Denver is actually a really cool place to visit, and I'm hoping that this experience didn't taint anybody's vision of it too much, because again, like, Denver is a really cool city. Colorado's a really cool state. As much as I like jokingly complain about shit, like I am lucky to live where I live, and I'm very upset and sorry about the fact that this was some people's first experience as far as like how people operate here, because that's not it. That's not it. But I'm very glad that also some of you got to see snow for the first time. As a local and as somebody who has seen snow so much in my life, it was also kind of funny. And I will admit, I was laughing at you a little bit, but only in the sense of like, I'm just not used to like not experiencing snow. Like, so seeing some people from Australia experiencing snow for the first time.
That was fun.
That was fun. That was funny to me because I was like, wow, I'm so used to seeing this. I never really like thought about the fact that other places don't have snow. Like, so when it was snowing and I saw people, running around outside, like playing with the snow and stuff, I'm like, wow, like,
I stood in the FedEx line with an author from Australia, and
really
she was talking about how much she enjoyed the snow. And one of the things that I have a problem with is when it snows, it's also cold. And when it's cold, I have a lot of issues. And I was like, I'm so glad that you love the snow. I did not love the snow so much, but good for you.
Like, I'm the type of person that's like, I love the aesthetic of snow from inside my house in a blanket with hot chocolate and a book.
I was cold all weekend. I was freezing all weekend.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is just, in fact, spring in Colorado. Because
I know. I had my room never like really high, like ridiculously high. I felt bad for my housekeepers that had to come in there and have to clean in those horrible conditions in my room.
And it was also funny to me, just like seeing all the people who were unprepared for the snow. Like, even like there were times I got cold. But it was just funny to me, like seeing some people like who didn't think to bring layers, because it's,
even though they said on the page, bring layers, it's going to be cold.
Yeah. And a lot of places actually, like, especially like in Australia where it doesn't snow, they don't really have the proper kind of layers for snow. But regardless.
But I mean, even a long sleeve shirt and a sweatshirt would have been fine.
Yeah. Especially for this weekend. But, it was very nice, like kind of seeing everybody get excited about the snow, because it's usually something that I perceive as like a total nuisance, and I'm just like, ugh,
yeah, it is.
But everybody's like, oh, snow, this is cool.
No.
Shout out to y'all who experienced snow for the first time and were completely enthralled by it, because that was a very wholesome thing for me to experience in a weekend full of bullshit. And I hope those of you that experienced snow for the first time enjoyed it, and that was one of the highlights of your weekend, because it was definitely one of mine to just watch everybody with the snow. But yeah. I'm actually going to let you go now because I'm literally falling asleep.
I really have to go. Yeah, I'll talk to you later.
But all right.
Bye.
Bye, guys. So, yeah, I'm just gonna do a quick little closing thing. Like I said earlier, or we said several times, unless it happened directly to us or we saw it happen, everything that we saw is alleged, aside from obviously the emails that were shared and the things that were like shared as far as like screenshots and experiences. So again, I'm not personally claiming that every single thing that we talked about happened the way that we said it. Like, just like legal disclaimer that we that this was just us talking about things that we heard and experienced. And if I was wrong, like if we're wrong about something, like let us know. And the last thing I was gonna add was that if you were at Leaders Take Denver and you are interested in sharing your experience, leave a comment on this video live, whatever the fuck you want to call it, or DM me on my various social media, and I would be more than happy to talk to you about your experience here. I am going to go grab a snack and crawl into bed and scroll through the internet and maybe eventually sleep. But yes. All right. I'm going to go. Everybody, this has been the experience of a hashtag Leaders Take Denver survivor and a few other survivors as well. I will not be making merch because y'all know I can't do art for shit. But yeah, so I'm out. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Good night.